Sergeant, Mr. H. Alexander Storr of the Disaster Risk Management Authority, and Mr. Charles Johnson representing our major corporate sponsor, J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers. I thank all of our sponsors, along with Mr. Dwan Archer and Mr. Fabian Johnson, our production team, for another informative, familiar walk. There's no strong correlation between the number of storms or hurricanes in any given season. One or more of the named storms forecast to develop this season could hit the Bahamas, or none at all. Therefore, residents of the Bahamas should prepare each year, no matter the forecast. Thank you for watching A Familiar Walk as we continue our journey to building a culture of preparedness.
This evening at 9 p.m. on ZNS Television, join us for part 2 of our Family Island tour to Acklins, Crooked Island, and Long Key as Minister Miles LaRota and his team conclude their final town hall meetings with the residents of our Southern Islands. That's taking social services to the people this evening at 9 p.m. only on ZNS Television. Social services, the heartbeat of the nation.
At Rusty Bethel Drive, I'm Faisal Forbes. This is ZNS.
It's What's Trending with Jiminita Swain and the Bahama Beauty. At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas from Studio A. It all starts right now.
It's Tuesday, July 1st, and you're watching What's Trending, where we bring you the latest trends and hottest news on the people, places, and things you want to know about. I'm Jiminita Swain with all things lifestyle, entertainment, and everything in between. Coming up on today's show, it's all about Bahamian pride and celebration. It's National Flag Day. As we prepare to mark another independence, the country's national flag was hoisted. We'll take a look at the significance and what it means for our sovereignty. Also, what began as a simple name on a bottle idea turned into a global movement, boosting sales and sparking brand love and inspiring a new generation. Today, we're talking more about the Share Your Coke campaign. And our glam cam was roving to see just how one group of graduates dressed to the nines for their school prom. We've got this and so much more after the break.
Tired of looking at the same old kitchen? Step 1. Our talented recommended designer Mark crafts a custom design just for you. Step 2. Once your design is ready, CBS Bahamas makes ordering effortless. Your dream kitchen is within reach. Step 3. Our recommended installers bring your vision to life, ensuring every detail is perfectly in place. Sit back and relax as your dream space becomes a reality. Visit cbsbahamas.com and start bringing your home improvement dreams to life today.
Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we have been in Exuma now for the past 4 years, carrying out our paving program. A part of our company's philosophy is to do some work to international standards. So when you look at our paving division, we have a state-of-the-art lab to do all of our testing in-house, as well as a state-of-the-art asphalt plant with a trained technician carrying out the work on that site. The overall action goal of our company is to produce the work that we're doing in the entire Bahamas to international standards. We also make a difference by the training of our staff. We have a very intensive training program going on to where we are teaching our young young men how to learn the art of striping. Being a young man myself, I've made mistakes in the past. I was given a second chance to better my life, and it's only fitting that to be passed along. What's important for us is giving them a second chance for them to get a skill and a career that could take them further in life.
Each year during Independence celebrations, ceremonial flag raisings are held to reaffirm national pride and reflect on the journey of progress and development. The ceremonial importance is often accompanied by the national anthem, prayers, speeches, and performances by uniformed branches. The flag raising serves as a reminder of the shared values and cultural heritage, and it evokes strong emotions of patriotism, pride, and unity across all the islands. Well, the flag raising ceremony is deeply rooted in the context of Bahamian independence. The first flag raising event took place at 12:01 a.m. on July 10, 1973, marking the moment the Bahamas officially became an independent nation. 52 years later, the country prepares to relive the occasion. In studio with us to discuss today's activities and the milestone is Principal Consultant in the Public Service, Kennedy Campbell-Moss, who has been working closely with the Independence Committee. Welcome back to What's Trending, Kennedy.
It is a pleasure to be here with you, Jamanita.
I feel like you're so familiar. You almost tripped me up on my words.
No. We are good.
It's great.
We are good. We are good.
So first of all, how significant is Flag Day in terms of the Independence calendar of events?
When you think about Flag Day, Jamanita, you think about something that has happened some 52 years ago. It marks a president. It makes you understand that we are the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. It's our flag being hoisted, and that should resonate with all Bahamians. So that sets the tone for our independence.
That's good. Now, what emotions or messages does the committee hope that the flag-raising ceremony evoke from Bahamians?
The emotion would be pure unadulterated pride. An emergence of energy and patriotism, a love for the country, because it's not just New Providence or Nassau-centric. It's the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. When you see your flag raised, when you see the aquamarine, when you see the black, you're just supposed to think intrusively, this me as a Bahamian, and just be extremely proud, elated that you are indeed a Bahamian.
So can you walk us through what goes into planning such a symbolic national movement?
Now, when it comes up to the planning and the logistics of the entire ceremony, you have to remember that you have the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, you have the police force, you have the Governor General, you have the Governor General's home, you have many ministries, many agencies. You have to make sure that the color of the flag is correct. You have to make sure that the honor guard is there. You have to make sure that people are in place to do exactly what needs to be done. And the logistics just doesn't happen overnight. It's months and months and months of preparation to make sure that it's presented properly, that the flag is hoisted right, that the flag is even folded properly for presentation. And so it takes a great deal of work to get it done.
So definitely many moving parts. So how has the ceremony evolved since it was held in 1973, since we're now in 2025?
Well, I wasn't around in 1973, right? But based on the commemorative photos and based on some of the footage that I would have seen, it was much simpler. But of course, we kept the simplicity of it, but we just wanted to make sure that it was honored. So it was less people at that particular time. But of course, now it's a monumental event, and persons want to come around. You want to see the girls' brigades and the Boys and Girls Club, and you want to see the different military branches. So everybody was included.
That sounds good. So how are the family islands going to be included in these national celebrations?
Now, each family island has its own administrator, and each family island, of course, has its own section of what they would like to actually see happen in terms of the flag-raising ceremony. So perhaps some will raise it a little bit later in the afternoon. Some will probably do it on Saturday. Some will probably do it on Sunday. But it will all be done within this week.
So now let's take a more general look. Obviously, there are a lot of messages and themes. So what is the main message or theme of this year's Independence celebration?
The main message, of course, for us is unity. This is 52 years of independence. We are a nation. We are strong. We are doing it together, and together we are better. When you speak about what independence means to a specific person, it can mean a medley of things. For me, you know, I don't even need to tell you what it means for me. I mean...
No, you don't.
you already know what
I mean, the parents already telling me, Jonka, no, I know the love for culture.
Listen to
and
me.
And the pineapples?
The pineapples.
I mean, that's the Luther woman?
I'm Luther. No, but I'm actually from Town, Cat Island. I'm a Campbell from Town, Cat Island. But of course, the pants bring celebration. You know, this is independence. We're celebrating the birth of our nation.
And we all should be proud, hey?
We should all be proud.
And everyone should be in their national colors every day, hey?
Everybody should be in national
colors. Up to independence.
Every day. I have your aqua lipstick if you need to. Go to work in your Junkanoo costume if you want to. Every day should be a Junkanoo day. Every day should be a Bahamian day.
And so how do you ensure that the events reflect the diversity of the people?
So we have amalgamated all of our different family islands. So you have Eleuthera, Cat Island, Exuma, the Berry Islands. We want to make sure that everybody is represented. And you say my Eleuthera pineapple today. So everybody comes together. We make sure that a little piece of each island is pulled into one. We want to make sure that the racon scrape is there, that the fry fish is there, the benny cake, the peanut cake, the flour cake, the switcher as we would call it. Everybody is going to be one huge melting pot of all things Bahamian.
That sounds good. So for example, we know that tomorrow is being dubbed the National Day of the Family. What are the goals behind this event that you want to see met?
I want to see the family come together. We want to see the family come together. We want to see them going to church or going to school. Tomorrow, sometimes people go to midday mass. When you go to midday mass tomorrow, you wear your Bahamian colors. You have the children along with you. You go to lunch tomorrow. Maybe go to lunch with a neighbor. Maybe have a neighborhood community day tomorrow, because family isn't always blood. Some of your best family is outside of your bloodline.
That is very, very true. So tell us about the other activities you have planned. There is a Wellness Day, National Pride, and Culture Day. Talk about those events.
Well, the Wellness Day, of course, we want everybody to keep your heart and health strong. So we're talking about health. We're talking about mental healthiness. We're talking about heart health. Eat something a little less fried on those particular days. Less greasy, but all Bahamian nonetheless.
We know we love our grease now.
If it ain't greasy, we don't want it.
You're right.
I mean, if it ain't loaded down with plenty hot sauce and ketchup, I don't know if I want it, right?
Oh,
you want to make sure that those things are kept in mind for those particular days. We also are going to have the Cultural Expression Day. Now, the Cultural Expression, of course, that begins at 1 a.m. So we're going to have a nice little ceremony, and then we're going to kick off with the Junkanoo, of course. There's a group that's coming out before the Saxons, but we come out second. Everybody be downtown. We will be there, okay? And it's going to be Independence morning, like a baby borning.
I know.
I can tell you that.
Right? So are there any new events or standout events that people will be introduced to this year?
There's also another event that we're going to have. It's going to be on Clifford Park, and that's going to be a family fun day. So we're going to have family games like shooting marble in the dirt, slingshot, riding on the bike. Remember, we used to play porkin. We're going to have all of those different
there's
games.
always a debate if it's porkin or porky.
Porky. I thought it was porkin.
I thought it was porkin, too, but anyway, that's
porkin.
Very interesting. But everybody have their own term for different things. So that sounds like a whole lot of fun.
Absolutely.
But how important is it for Bahamians to really, really participate in these national activities?
Well, Jamanita, it's extremely important because other persons celebrate their independence outside of us. But when it comes up to our independence, this is something that you should hold naturally to your heart. And with it being our independence, this is something that you want to say, listen, this is mine. I hold this to be true. This me. I come to get me. This is my independence. This is important for me. I is a Bahamian. Not I am. I is a Bahamian. So you should hold that near and dear to you. So those are the types of feelings, those are the kind of emotions that should say to you, listen, as a Bahamian man, this is my independence. I'm going to make it the biggest, the grandest, the most exquisite because I is a Bahamian.
You're right, and I wish you well, candidate. We appreciate you,
Thank you.
and your time joining us today.
Thank
And we
you.
hope Bahamians nationwide, as you've urged them, definitely support all of the independence activities that you have outlined, because there are many of them.
There are many of them. And there in time, we also have lots of giveaways and goodies. This is one of the shirts.
All right, but that's what you should have started with.
Yeah,
People like free
They
things.
like for yes, yeah. I'll bring you one. I can make sure you're looking good too.
Thanks.
Want some pants?
Yeah, right in too. Well, a special treat or interest for our Coca-Cola lovers just up after the break.
Diet-friendly special.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting TingsyBahamas.com.
For us at the Myers Group of restaurants, we found that we have a pretty large portion of our employment pool that had difficulty getting bank accounts.
The Malami key issue we had previously was just getting cash, getting funds on the island. And with only one working ATM, the idea of the sand dollar just in being digital, and everybody has a smartphone nowadays, it actually worked into our favor.
The sand dollar was like a godsend because it allowed us to add it to our payroll system, which means we're able to send their money to the sand dollar wallet.
It's still a bank transfer because you get an account number. So from the employer side of things, all I have to do is send your funds just as usual.
It opens up our pool for us to be able to hire some of the people that we couldn't hire before because they were unable to open bank accounts. This has been a really good solution.
Well, something fun is definitely bubbling up, and this one's for the Coca-Cola lovers out there. If you're into cute keepsakes and that signature red and black can, this one might be right up your alley. But now there is a twist. Lauren Clark from the Caribbean Bottling Company is joining us on What's Trending to share why you might want to take a closer look at those Coke bottles and why you might just spot your name on the label. Welcome to What's Trending, Lauren.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here today.
It's so great to have you here with us, but this is definitely something exciting to talk about, and it's obviously a lot of buzz around it. So what exactly is the Share Your Coke campaign all about?
Share Coke is a global campaign that was created many years ago by Coca-Cola International, and basically it's just about sharing a cold, crisp Coke with your loved ones, a friend, a secret crush, your coworker, and it's just about sharing the real magic of Coca-Cola with those near you.
You're right, but a cold Coca-Cola
Yes.
definitely
spot.
hit the spot. So how did this idea come about, and what made now the right time to, I guess, relaunch it here in country?
Yes. So actually this campaign launched a few years ago, and Coca-Cola just felt like it was the right time to bring it back, to just bring some engagement and some love around the world. We all need it. And like I said, it's a global campaign, so various regions around the world are also executing the campaign.
So this is just our time to shine.
Yes, it's our time for the Bahamas to feel the Coca-Cola love.
Now, I hear that we can get our very own names on a Coke bottle. Can you walk us through the personalization process, how it works?
We're very excited that we are giving our consumers the opportunity to get their names on the bottles, or even cute little nicknames or phrases they want to add. So you can go to our website at cbcbahamas.com/share Share a Coke, and that will take you directly to the landing page where we have a form that you can fill out, and you can put your name, what copy you want on the bottle, and then it will instruct you then on how to pay. And each bottle is $5.50, VAT inclusive.
Awesome, and I know that you did something special for us because I see we have what's trending
We
on
had to
the
bring
bottle.
some goodies for you guys.
That's awesome. I love that it's there. So how far-reaching is this campaign, and are the bottles being distributed across all of the islands? Are there different names available based on location, or it's just up to what people want to see?
So typically when we carry out our campaigns, we always hear feedback saying, you guys neglect the Family Islands. So this time we made sure to incorporate the Family Islands. So yes, you can get a Share a Coke bottle throughout the length and breadth of the Bahamas, and particularly in Freeport or Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Eleuthera, we are executing pop-up events. So you can follow us on social media to see when the event dates are. But our upcoming event date is this Saturday from 12 to 4 at the Mall Marathon, where you can get your very own Share a Coke bottle live.
That sounds awesome. So obviously you've told us the process to get the name on the bottle, but should people know, are there any restrictions or concerns of what can't be printed on the bottle?
Yes, so there is a limit, so it's only 10 characters. Due to spacing and the labeling, we can only do 10 characters. So if you do have a long name, maybe if you have a nickname that's a bit shorter, you can
shorten it.
Yeah. Or cut out a few letters. But yeah, 10 characters, and the turnaround time is about a week, so we're very quick. We want to give people their bottles. We don't want to hang on to it. So.
Awesome, but I see that you also have some shades and some cool tumblers. You want to talk a little bit about the...
Yes. So like I said, we're doing pop-up events around the country, not just New Providence. And these are some of the goodies consumers can win. So we have our Coca-Cola shades because it's very hot.
Definitely.
And then we have our lovely Coca-Cola tumblers. And these are different from our regular tumblers. These are our Share a Coke tumblers.
Special, and you definitely want to keep that Coke nice and cool, and what better way than a tumbler?
Right, and we also have keychains, we have tote bags, a sticker pack, so it's very fun, it's exciting, it's something for everyone in the family.
And just remind us again, you say you have a pop-up event coming up.
Yes, this Saturday, July 5th, at the Mall Marathon from 12 to 4 p.m.
All right, so people should come out. Remind them why they need to come out, because this is definitely fun.
Yes. If you want to get your name customized, you want to bypass a long 1-week wait period, you can just get it customized on spot. We will have our lovely Coca-Cola elves, that's what I call them, and they will be typing out labels, and they will be wrapping the bottles, and you can kind of get a taste of the real magic. And we will be there in the mall. We will also be doing some fun games. You can win prizes and maybe a cool tumbler, some shades, things like that.
Well, I hope a tumbler and a shades have my name on
Noted.
So I'm definitely on the lookout for, like I said, my personalized item. And I think our viewers are too. So I'm sure a lot of them are going to pop out on Saturday. But thank you so much, Lauren, for joining us here on What's Trending. And we definitely love this concept of sharing a Coke.
Yes.
Well, on the other side of the break, find out who our glam cam caught with its lens. You're watching What's Trending. Stay with us.
If you would like to be a part of What's Trending, DM us on Instagram at What's Trending on ZNS.
Where termites and need to get rid of them fast, trust Rentokil Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rentokil Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rentokil Initial.
The red carpet was rolled out, the cameras were flashing, and the fashion on fire. Prom season has hit the runway, and our glam cam was front and center to catch all the glitz and jaw-dropping looks.
The lights, the glam, and the excitement of prom season was in full swing. We made our way to the Courtyard Marriott Nassau, where Anatole Rogers students were ready to celebrate in style. But before the big entrance, we caught up with prom committee co-chair Alfonso Brown, who shared just how rewarding it was to help bring the class of 2025's Dream Prom to life.
Well, it's been rewarding seeing that we had many difficulties that we had to put our heads together to get over. So the fact that we was able to get over those difficulties for the kids to have a experience for the last time, possibly together. Because usually when you finish high school, you don't see those persons until years later. So they had to get it done.
Brown also gave high praise to the Courtyard Marriott, calling the venue a perfect partner in pulling off the big night.
I mean, it's good to see that you have a company that's willing to improve, and the location isn't bad, and the price isn't bad either. So I definitely recommend other schools to give them a try in the future.
Get ready for a runway rewind, because these prom looks just ate. No crumbs left behind. Grab your crown and cue the spotlight, because part 2 of this prom fashion parade is giving royal court, red carpet, and run this town glam. Crowned and commanding, call the National Guard, because royalty has arrived. This couple is dripping in regal realness, giving king and queen of everything. Our gent is rocking a Baroque black and gold blazer, so ornate it could hang in the Louvre. Paired with velvet details, sunglasses, and a literal crown, totally a vibe. His queen, whew, that black ball gown with golden embroidery and a dramatic tulle skirt is what fairy tales are made of. And let's not ignore the gold crown headpiece. It's giving Beyonce at the Grammys meets Wakanda Forever. Absolute majesty. Next, a fire and ice fantasy. We've got a solo slayer who came to give drama and dazzle. Her red and silver gown is a masterpiece of contrast. Icy silver beading on top, melting into a fairy red mermaid skirt that's flared with tulle at the hem. The plunging neckline and intricate design scream couture. And the matching clutch? Chef's kiss. If looks could kill, she just set the red carpet ablaze. Emerald green elegance with a twist. This duo brought rich romantic vibes with a fresh take on classic glam. Our gentleman went full smooth operator in a cream suit paired with deep green accents and a statement medallion. Meanwhile, his date brought elegance and a touch of mystery in an emerald green velvet gown adorned with lace and a romantic silhouette. She's holding a bouquet and a heart-shaped clutch because she's giving beauty queen and prom day gold all in one. Green with envy? Trust, we are too. It's giving couture. It's giving confidence. It's just giving. The showstopper in red didn't just walk the red carpet, he owned it. Draped in crimson red suit that screams high fashion and crowned with a royal brooch, he elevated the look with a plume of fierce red feathers and a sparkling silver masquerade mask sash. That pose, that platinum blonde crop, baby, this isn't just prom for him. Smooth, suave, and dipped in swagger. This gen came through in a cherry red tux jacket with slick black trim, perfectly tailored to give crown and sexy. Paired with a red vest and bow tie combo that screams main character energy, he polished it all off with the blinged out accessories and that effortless hand in pocket pose. He's giving Dapper Dawn with a whole lot of drip. From feathers and sequins to satin and shine, this year's prom fashion is turning the parking lot into a runway. This is how you make prom a premier event. Who needs Hollywood when the red carpet is this close to home?
diet-friendly special.
Hey, ladies, where's the day? Oh, okay, thanks. Babes,
Hey, what's up?
how you doing?
I'm doing well. Look, he's meditating. You gotta give him at least an hour.
All right. I can wait. I ain't got nothing to do. Finish, I say, now on to independence.
Welcome to What's Trending. Join me, Jiminita Swain.
And me, the Bahama Beauty, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m.
Only on the ZNS Network. On Wednesday's show, get your taste buds ready. Summer's heating up and it's time to cool down. We're introducing you to a popular tailor-made limeade, icy, refreshing, and available in all your favorite flavors. Well, be sure to catch up with us on Instagram at What's Trending on ZNS for all your latest buzz. We'll see you back right here tomorrow at 6 p.m. for more lifestyle, entertainment, and everything in between. I'm Jiminita Swain. See you tomorrow.
There are over 3 million shipwrecks on the ocean floor, just waiting to be found. Nothing is truly ever lost at sea, only hidden by time and sand. When I put this fleet together, it wasn't just for fun. And although we do have fun, we never lose sight of our goal. Right here, right now, we are on a mission.
Covering the news seems easy, but we put thought into what we're doing. The Bahamas Tonight Access Now, here to inform, educate, and entertain. A new type of newscast featuring social media trends, news from around the islands, interviews with the people you like in our communities, sports, weather, and fabulous entertainment. That's a Bahamas Tonight Access Now with Marlena Leonard and LaDon Davis. 7:30, Monday to Friday. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome to What's Trending. Join me, Jiminita Swain.
And me, the Bahama Beauty, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m.
Only on the ZNS Network.
Remote and this
bro, but you ain't... What kind of cars is parking on? You ain't even know where to park? Yeah, that's some parking. Look at this way. Like, he ain't getting nowhere to go. No parking. That's no parking on the gas. Yeah, that's on the gas. No, you can't park on the gas. I ain't gonna be that long. I ain't gonna be that long. On the gas, watch it. Boy, what's going on, dog? I tell you we shouldn't park here now. This way parking, brothers.
I tell you we shouldn't park here.
Don't get one of these things. My bad big bro, and he got a sticker inside to say this model. We gotta move. This is honey gas. That's what we gotta move. But we gotta move. Don't we can move right now. Sorry.
Be considerate. Don't use disabled parking spaces without a decal in your vehicle. This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities.
At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, I'm Clint Watson, and this is ZNS. The Northern Edition. This is the Bahamas Tonight. The Northern Edition has a look at stories making news tonight. MSC Cruises makes a major partnership move projected to drive economic growth. Also, the Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini weighs in on his general election opponent.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks so much for tuning in. Topping news. In a major boost to Grand Bahamas maritime sector, MSC Cruises has officially joined Carnival Corporation and Royal Caribbean as a strategic partner in the Grand Bahama shipyard. The announcement comes as part of a $600 million transformation project aimed at turning the shipyard into a world-class hub for cruise and commercial vessel repairs. An initiative expected to create long-term jobs and drive economic growth for decades to come. Shalia Rowe joins us live now with the details.
Well, Miko, a big announcement coming in earlier today in a press release welcoming MSC Cruises as a new partner to the Grand Bahama Shipyard. This is a joint venture in concert with Carnival Corporation and Royal Caribbean aimed at transforming the shipyard into a leading global cruise and commercial shipping vessel repair facility. So what does this mean for Grand Bahama? More jobs, more businesses, more spin-off opportunities. The Chief Executive Officer of the shipyard, Chris Earl, says that they are delighted to see positive momentum on the expansion and modernization, which is expected to increase activity in the company, boosting local businesses, creating economic opportunities, and enriching the community for Grand Bahamians. The press release further states that Grand Bahama Shipyard is already the largest private non-tourism employer in the Bahamas. The expanded operations will further support the local economy. The shipyard's thriving apprentice program cultivates Bahamian youth talent by building and enhancing the technical skill set needed in maritime repair. Recently, the second apprentice cohort, made up of 20 local Bahamians, commenced their 18-week technical training at the Internet College in Brinkhead, Liverpool. On completion, they will return to Grand Bahama Shipyard to continue their 4-year program in order to meet the requirements of a City and Guild trade qualification, an internationally recognized ship repair standard. Also, the Grand Bahama Shipyard will take ownership of 2 new floating docks, a significant milestone in its $600 million transformation project. This extensive initiative is projected to create jobs and generate significant economic impact over the next 25 years. The floating docks at the center of the shipyard's transformation are among the largest in the Western Hemisphere, including a mega dock with the largest lifting capacity in the world. These docks can service all existing and currently planned cruise ships worldwide, as well as a broad range of other vessels. The first newest dock named East End is 357 meters long and 76 meters wide and capable of lifting 93,500 tons. It will be equipped with 4 state-of-the-art cranes and control systems and will begin its journey this September to the Bahamas, arriving by November, with operations beginning in January 2026. The second larger dock named Lucayan is designed for the 125,000-ton lift capacity and will be operational later in 2026, allowing the yard to service all large cruise ships and other commercial vessels. Now, because of the company's strategic location and industry expertise, the company is highly attractive to both cruise and non-cruise customers. The recent addition of MSC Cruises as a shareholder will further strengthen the shipyard's position as a leader in the maritime industry. This is definitely some good news, Miko. Coming to you live in studio for the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Shalia Roll. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks so much, Aaliyah. Certainly is good news. Well, the Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxey, issuing a statement in connection to this major development. The statement reads in part that the Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxey, is delighted to celebrate the continued confidence displayed in the Grand Bahama economy as an attractive investment destination and hub of opportunities. It further reads, with billions of dollars in investments underway on the island across multiple sectors, MSC Cruises' entry into the Grand Bahama Shipyard joint venture marks another significant milestone for Grand Bahama. In the midst of the ongoing $665 million transformation of the facility, this expanded partnership aims to solidify the shipyard as a world-class cruise and commercial vessel repair hub. With MSC Cruises on board, the facility is set to boost its operational capacity, expand its technical capabilities, and advance its long-term vision of becoming the world's largest cruise ship repair facility. In closing, there has been significant interest in Grand Bahama in recent months, and more is to come from MSC Cruises and other global investors, stated Minister Moxey. This is a pivotal movement for our island as the transformation continues. We are witnessing the reawakening of Grand Bahama as a preferred destination for large-scale investment, job creation, entrepreneurial opportunities, and sustained economic development. Well, in news from the Senate, Senator Kirkland Russell, during his contribution, says the Davis administration inherited an economy in disarray and was immediately tasked with cleaning up what he described as a financial mess left behind by the previous administration. According to Senator Russell, from the outset, the government developed a targeted strategy aimed at restoring fiscal stability and stimulating growth, and it is coming to fruition.
Upon coming into office and inheriting an economic mess, this Davis administration set out on an urgent mission to rescue, rebuild, and revitalize the economy. Yes. The administration committed to a plan that included 4 critical elements of a more comprehensive strategy that would contribute to salvaging the ship that had been run aground owing to a captain and his crew being unprepared to manage serious crisis.
Senator Kirkland Russell also adding that the PLP government has hit the ground running to ensure that Grand Bahama secures its fair share of economic opportunities. Highlighting progress, Senator Russell pointing to Carnival Cruise Line Celebration Key Project, noting that approximately 74% of those hired so far are Bahamians, with many of them holding leadership roles. He emphasized that this is a clear indication that Grand Bahamians are ready and capable of taking the helm and shaping the island's future.
We knew unemployment was high, and with haste, Minister Moxey led the charge for the creation of the beautiful Grand Bahama project, providing jobs for over 500 unemployed residents to give them a hand up rather than a handout. We reinstated the sales order for duty-free vehicles that the F&M had canceled. We also extended the sales order for building supplies and household appliances to assist Grand Bahama and Albacore residents. We championed the passing of the Evidence Amendment Act to finally bring closure to the families who had lost loved ones during the passage of Hurricane Dorian.
In political news, Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, Kingsley Smith, sharing his thoughts on the Free National Movement and its newly ratified standard-bearer, Omar Isaacs. Smith criticized the party's leadership, stating that they do not have the best interests of West Grand Bahama and Bimini at heart, and shares why.
The Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, Kingsley Smith, is weighing in on the Free National Movement's recently ratified candidate, Omar Isaacs, claiming that Isaacs is not from the constituency he was selected to represent. Smith criticized the party for overlooking two potential candidates from the area, Bishop Ricardo Grant and Daquan Swain, in favor of Isaacs, whom he believes lacks the historical knowledge and connection to the constituency he now seeks to serve.
You reject those, but somebody who is not knowing and who is questioning the efforts that myself, along with the Progressive Liberal Party and the Prime Minister, is making in West Grand Bahama and Bimini. The evidence is there.
Smith went on to criticize Isaacs for questioning several ongoing and upcoming developments in the constituency, suggesting that such concerns are either premature or unfounded. He further stated that Isaacs needs to know the facts before making certain assessments.
You want to question the junior high that was started under the PLP, but sat for 4 years and 4 months under the Free National Movement. 8 Mile Government Complex, the George Bush Complex, all sat and was not touched by the Free National Movement in 4 years and 4 months. And that's why I would have said that as aspiring candidates for the Free National Movement needs to know the history of West Grand Bahama and Bimini.
But despite who the FNM candidate is, Smith says one thing is for sure, West Grand Bahama and Bimini will remain PLP.
And that is Kingsley Smith under the Progressive Liberal Party banner.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Yolanda Thompson, Everest.
While community advocate Daquan Swain, a former hopeful for the Free National Movement's nomination for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, lost the nod to the newly chosen standard-bearer Omar Isaacs. Despite not winning the nomination, Swain affirmed that he is not done with politics and emphasized that his commitment to the party and its core values remain strong.
You know, I still believe that the organizations believe in those things, and, you know, right now, currently, you know, we are faced with a decision that we didn't expect, but, you know, that doesn't deter me from the core values and the principle of, the core values of the organization.
Overall, he emphasized that his efforts were never about politics or party affiliation, but always about serving the people. When asked about his next steps, Swain shared that his current focus is on spending quality time with his family.
Serving people, it's something that would always be in my DNA, whatever the title may be, whatever the position may be, it's not about that night. So for right now, I think I could spend some more time with my family. I got a wife, I got a young child. So I think that right now the most important part is making sure that West Grand Bahama has somebody who is committed to that work. And for me, you know, spending some more time with my family.
And still to come.
Grand Bahamians celebrate National Flag Day with a special ceremony at the Harold de Gregory Complex. That story, sports, and more when we return.
Imagine a world where every brand knows your name and every store awaits your arrival. Elite shopping, travel where luxury is a lifestyle and every journey feels like home. Dine where every flavor is just for you, every table reserved, and every moment a taste of perfection. Make every big moment even bigger. Experience banking where wealth isn't just managed, it's maximized. Step into a world without limits. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you.
renovate, and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
Let's come together to worship in preparation for our nation's 52nd anniversary of independence at the Ecumenical Service of Praise and Thanksgiving at First Baptist Church, led by the Grand Bahama Christian Council on Sunday, July 6th at 3 p.m. The public is welcome.
It's a pre-independence Sunday brunch at No Holds Barred, July 6th, hosted by Tej and music by DJ Hot Skull Swagger and DJ Rambo. Enjoy baked chicken with crab and rice, plus games, prizes, and a round trip to Bimini. Just $30 entry.
Walk, run, or cycle in the Ministry for Grand Bahama's Welcoming Home 5K Road Race and Health Fair on Saturday, July 5th, beginning at 6 a.m. at the Harold de Gregory Complex. Bring the family for a morning of fitness, fun, and culture. Get free health screenings after the race and purchase a healthy breakfast from participating vendors. Registration is free. Go to ministryforgb.com to register today.
In the heart of the Bahamas, there once lay an unassuming island, scarred, forgotten, left behind by industry. A place that had given so much, but had been abandoned in return. It took a family whose legacy is deeply intertwined with the sea to see its potential. They saw not just an island, but possibilities. To replace abandonment and desolation with life and beauty. The transformation of Ocean Key was a collective effort, bringing together skilled workers, artisans, builders, and conservationists, combining passionate visionaries with Bahamian expertise, ensuring that Ocean Key was not just a paradise, but a source of opportunity.
Welcoming Home. Get ready, Grand Bahama. The Welcoming Home Grand Expo and Empowerment Seminar is coming July 4th, 2025. Join us at the Grand Lucayan Convention Center from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. for a day of inspiration, information, and opportunity. Hear key updates from the government and connect with top investors, entrepreneurs, and business leaders. Whether you're returning home or looking to grow your vision, this is your moment. The future of Grand Bahama is now. Be a part of it. That's Friday, July 4th at the Grand Lucayan. Don't miss it.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. The Sir Charles Hayward Library is shaking things up this summer under the theme of Let the Adventure Begin with their summer camp. Camp organizers say the young campers will explore the wonders of the world. Our intern, Aaron Burrows, has that report.
The Sir Charles Hayward Library is hosting its annual summer camp under the theme, Let the Adventure Begin. Library Administrator Sanrika Foston shared that campers will embark on a journey of virtual travel.
So we're going to have it here set up as if they are actually going to the airport, immigration. They're going to be on the airplane, and then they will travel to that spot. A lot of them may not have ever heard about these natural and man-made wonders, so that was in my thinking, that's what I wanted them to experience this year.
Exploring the 7 natural and man-made wonders of the world, the camp, which welcomes children ages 6 to 14, aims to be both educational and inspiring. Camp volunteer Lavette Farrington says she hopes the experience helps campers appreciate the value and beauty of the world around them.
Along with them taking away an understanding and a greater appreciation for the world around them, they will come away with library skills and research skills that they are so in need of as, we move into various directions when it comes to education and academics.
While reading remains at the heart of it all, this camp is lighting up young minds in every way, from belting out songs and passing a hula hoop in team challenges to kicking up dust in outdoor games. Camp instructor Gabriel Cooper said the children will be avid travelers this summer, exploring the world one adventure at a time.
Being an instructor at the All About Skills Library Camp has been very rewarding. It's very fulfilling to see the kids just come out and enjoy themselves, where they can incorporate learning and skills and fun, of course. It's a very affordable camp. It's all day, and I would recommend that they bring their children out.
From flipping pages to exploring the wonders of the world, these campers are diving into summer with open minds and bright spirits, setting the pace for their peers and proving that reading is anything but boring. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Aaron Burrows.
Great job, Aaron, our intern there, getting his spotlight in there.
Definitely has a voice for television.
Absolutely. Well, today we know that all Grand Bahamians celebrated National Flag Day. We had a big ceremony here down at the Gregory Complex.
Yeah, and the rain stopped right in time, Amico. The ceremony went well. We'll talk more about that, I guess, huh?
Right. Yeah, we'll have that report for you tomorrow. But what's coming up in sports?
Well, yesterday we spoke about Mako Aquatics coming first place at Nationals, but now Alpha Aquatics had a pretty decent showing at the Nationals as well. We're going to hear from some of those athletes and coaches from Mako.
All right, good stuff. That's coming your way next. But first, a check on the local weather forecast.
Weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
'Cause it's so beautiful.
Welcoming Home. Get ready, Grand Bahama. The Welcoming Home Grand Expo and Empowerment Seminar is coming July 4th, 2025. Join us at the Grand Lucayan Convention Center from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. for a day of inspiration, information, and opportunity. Hear key updates from the government and connect with top investors, entrepreneurs, and business leaders. Whether you're returning home or looking to grow your vision, this is your moment. The future of Grand Bahama is now. Be a part of it. That's Friday, July 4th at the Grand Lucayan. Don't miss it.
Here are some tips for having your home ready for a hurricane. Keep all trees and shrubs trimmed. Bring in all outdoor furniture, plants, or any other items that may become airborne due to high winds. Cover windows and doors with hurricane shutters or pre-cut plywood. Clear drains and gutters. And remember to secure important documentation in case you have to evacuate. Don't be caught off guard this hurricane season. Be prepared.
Do you want to find relief from common health concerns such as headaches, back pain, chronic inflammation, and more? How about improved sleep, boost energy, and improve overall well-being? Check out RA Balance Bahamas and get your body into balance with biomagnetic therapy. For all our social links, contacts, or to request an appointment, visit rabalancebahamas.com.
Grand Bahama, it's a time of celebration. The Bahama Brass Band presents with a shout, Wheel March, celebrating a combined 170 years of service, duty, and music ministry, 100 years Nassau, and 70 years Grand Bahama, with special guests, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Force Band, female contingent. Tickets are $20 in advance and $25 at the door. It's all happening at 7 p.m. Grand Lucayan Ballroom, Saturday, the 26th of July, 2025. With a shout, Wheel March.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sports Talk. In sports, Alpha Aquatic Swim Club placed second at the Bahama Swim Nationals with just under 60 athletes as part of the club. A number of athletes returned to Grand Bahama with medals to show after competing with the best junior swimmers in the country.
A lot of our swimmers got personal best times, which is what we wanted. And then we had 5 swimmers who came out with either high point or runner-up. With a 4-day competition, they got a little bit tired. So with them being tired, they still brought the energy to inside the pool. And of course, the coaches had to rally them up.
I competed in the 50, 100, 200 backstroke, the 400 IM, the 200 IM, the 1500 free, and the 400 free. I got 3 golds in all the backstrokes, and then I got 5 relay golds, 5 relay medals.
It was very tough competition, so coming out of it with runner-up high trophy was really
good for me, and I was proud of myself. I competed in 7 individual events. I got 4 individual golds. I competed in 5 relays. I got 7 silvers in total out of relays and individuals, and 1 bronze individual.
Next in sports, the Freeport City Council basketball camp is ongoing this week at the Anita Doherty Community Park.
Oh, it's a joy. I mean, they came here to work hard. You could tell they really care about their development, and it's a great time. Going over the fundamentals, learning how to dribble the ball well, passing, shooting, just breaking down the fundamentals so that they can add another layer to their game.
I had a lot of fun. I learned plenty of things. I learned how to dribble with my left hand. That's something I didn't know how to do, and I thank God for the opportunity. It helped.
And that's your quick check on sports. Your Facebook friend of the day is next. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed.
From July 2nd through the 10th, Grand Bahama is the place to be. Don't miss the Welcoming Home Grand Cultural Festival in downtown Freeport, Saturday, July 5th, beginning at 7 p.m. Bahamian food, arts and crafts, kids corner, and live performances by Recon Bahamas, Sherrod Taylor, Nishi LS, Avi, and DMAC. Go to ministryforgb.com for the full welcoming calendar of events. From July 2nd through the 10th, Grand Bahama is the place to be. Don't miss the Welcoming Home Grand Cultural Festival in downtown Freeport, Saturday, July 5th, beginning at 7 p.m. Bahamian food, arts and crafts, kids corner, and live performances by Recon Bahamas, Sherrod Taylor, Nishi LS, Avi, and DMAC. Go to ministryforgb.com for the full welcoming calendar of events.
Just 50 miles off the coast of Florida lies a destination unlike any other. Welcome to Resorts World Bimini in the Bahamas, where vibrant culture meets endless adventure. Relax on pristine beaches, savor Caribbean flavors, and sun-filled hotel stays. Whether it's a tranquil escape, night at the casino, or a weekend full of thrills, Bimini feels like a world away, but closer than you ever imagined. Your journey begins here, Resorts World Bimini.
Welcoming Home. Get ready, Grand Bahama. The Welcoming Home Grand Expo and Empowerment Seminar is coming July 4th, 2025. Join us at the Grand Lucayan Convention Center from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. for a day of inspiration, information, and opportunity. Hear key updates from the government and connect with top investors, entrepreneurs, and business leaders. Whether you're returning home or looking to grow your vision, this is your moment. The future of Grand Bahama is now. Be a part of it. That's Friday, July 4th at the Grand Lucayan. Don't miss it.
Number 1 team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles.
And I'm Jay Philippe.
Thanks so much for tuning in. The Bahamas Tonight comes your way next with Mukesh Lapinda.
Brought to you. ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, boaters sail off to new jurisdictions under the weight of heavy local fees. Find out the millions of dollars in losses for one local marina. Plus, Nurses Union exec assures stability and focus amid continued internal struggles. And a celebration of national unity and progress with flag-raising ceremonies throughout the country. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. A new fee structure for boaters causing serious backlash for industry stakeholders who claim the government's decision came without consultation and will undoubtedly topple the country's position as a top destination. Furthermore, they're warning that if not revisited, there could be a revenue loss in the millions, sending mariners searching for an alternative vacation destination with greater ease of doing business. Lloyd Allen has tonight's top story.
The Customs Management Amendment Regulations 2025 creating some havoc throughout the mariners here in the country.
Things were said like consultation was given and all of that. It absolutely wasn't.
President of the Association of Bahamas Mariners, Peter Morey, confirming the new fees pegged to a frequent digital cruising card, a fishing permit, and anchoring fees, all reportedly not accessible through the government's Click-to-Clear portal, can cut deep into the country's coffer.
Tourism actually made an estimate somewhere between 90 and 120 million. So that's a fairly significant loss in revenue. I mean, in taxes, that's $10 million to the government.
Morey adds the impact of the amended fee structure can also discourage boaters from choosing to dock locally.
Other Caribbean countries, our neighbors, Turks and Caicos, they saw an 82% increase and we saw a 30% decrease. So it shows you, where they don't have these fees and it's relatively easy.
He reasons spin-off businesses are also set to sink rather than swim amidst the changes.
Like cleaning companies and technical companies and, all those kind of things, shore-supported businesses, the florist, the provisioner, and these are all like very small businesses and of course the marinas.
Morey believes as his industry represents a significant portion of the gross domestic product, a shift in execution may be the calm needed to settle this storm.
They need to sit down and listen to the stakeholders in the industry. They have to understand that there's so many Bahamians involved in this industry throughout the Bahamas.
In his budget contribution last week, Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Senator the Honorable Ryan Pinder, defended the amendments as fair and balanced.
We've moved the threshold for the first tier of fees on this up to 50 feet. We heard the industry. The industry said, and we've seen the proliferation of larger recreational boats. Say 34 feet, which is what the regulations had, is too small. We hear you. Now we moved it to 50 feet. So those for this frequent digital cruising card, not exceeding 50 feet, is $1,500. Remember, that's for 2 years.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Grow the economy, reduce spending, improve revenue collection, and find new sources of revenue. The Davis administration's patting itself on the back for having checked all those boxes, putting it on a clear path it believes to not just balance the budget, but pull in a projected surplus of $75 million once the 2025-2026 fiscal year wraps up. Today kicks off that 12-month period, one the government projects will lead to a total revenue of $3.89 billion, or 23.6% of GDP. Total expenditures estimated to amount to $3.82 billion. To meet its revenue projection, the government plans to improve compliance, and these measures cover immigration, customs, and water sports. It will also update outdated frameworks. In terms of the money projected to go out, there's that much talked about public service salary review, an expansion of health coverage for all government employees, an investment of more than $30 million in infrastructure, and nearly $30 million in social assistance. Now, while Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Philip Davis, has expressed deep optimism about the road ahead, he acknowledges it will not always be easy. The fiscal year runs through June 30th, 2026. In other news, Free National Movement officials admit the party's candidate selection process may leave some disappointed, as many individuals who applied to represent the FNM in the next general election will not get the nod. That aside, FNM Deputy Chairman and former Bain and Grandstown MP Travis Robinson, who last evening appeared as a guest on The Rundown with host Clint Watson, spoke to the public's apparent excitement about the FNM candidates unveiled thus far, even answering criticism about the political newcomers.
may not have heard about a number of the candidates. And so this is where the introduction now of our full slate of 17 will roll out over the next couple of days, introducing them to individuals that they may not know. And so that's not unusual. We invite Dr. Minnis and any member who you may see a candidate, you may have interest in them. Their biography is available. They're on our party's website. They're out there. You can get the information.
Holding that the Free National Movement is not distancing itself from former leader and former Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, or any other supporter, the F&M executive says the party is simply pivoting to fully respect the wishes of Bahamians.
The cost of living is a major issue. People can't find food, they can't pay their bills, the middle class is shrinking. These are real issues. Light bill, as we could see this month, has skyrocketed once again. Crime is a real issue. So we're speaking to the real issues that people are experiencing and talking about on the ground and providing real legislative policies and positions that people would be able to buy into the vision of a Pentad administration.
On the labor front, the roughly 1,300 members of the Bahamas Nurses Union, an ongoing rift within the executive has led to a number of court matters, the most recent resulting in a judgment compelling the former administration to cough up some $60,000 previously unaccounted for. Now, as told in this report by our Lloyd Allen, the union's president is refusing to be distracted by some executives.
President of the Bahamas Nurses Union, Muriel Lightbourne, says the ongoing debacle within the organization is all rooted in the misappropriation of funds in excess of $60,000. This as the union fights toward its new industrial agreement.
The members said at the AGM, we want this money back, and so I have to do what I was instructed to do.
President Lightbourne confirms the ruling was handed by the court for the repayment of the funds in April. But aside from that matter, questions of the current leadership's validity have surfaced.
After much agitation from my team at the time, we was granted an election in January 19th, 2023.
This paves the way for the next election in 2026. Now, Union Treasurer Sharon Rhodes says the question of a financial report is a question that should not be asked, as there were two audits done in 2023 and 24. Both reports now in the hands of the Secretary General.
After the AGM was completed, the report was submitted on to the Secretary General, which is Siobhan Brennan, for dissemination to the relevant authorities. At present, they are still in our possession.
Now, while the Court of Public Opinion claims alleged infighting within the organization, President Lightbourne assures that her goal remains on cementing a new industrial agreement for members by October.
Of course, we're going to be asking for an increase in salary. That goes without saying.
The veteran nurse adds there are also plans to amend the union's constitution, which she admits is flawed. Committing to continuing her work as president in 2026 and beyond, Lightbourne says her hope is to resolve all of the union's outstanding matters in the best interest of its members. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Coming up, suspected arson in Weston, New Providence. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. More news in a moment.
Imagine a world where every brand knows your name and every store awaits your arrival. Elite shopping. Travel where luxury is a lifestyle and every journey feels like home. Dine where every flavor is just for you, every table reserved, and every moment a taste of perfection. Make every big moment even bigger. Experience banking where wealth isn't just managed, it's maximized. Step into a world without limits. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
irresistible taste of a KFC big deal, some people will do anything. KFC is finger-licking good.
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we are redefining what real connection is by prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. BTC customers, claim your $200 Bahamas Air gift card when you add postpaid mobile to your internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
When your hands are too full, life is just too complicated. Nala, Sally, come here. Uncomplicate. Go faster, safer, greener with the digital way to pay. With Tap to Pay, it's as easy as a gentle touch. No more headaches. Say hello to convenience. The future of pay is digital with options like credit cards, debit cards, online banking, and digital wallets. Make every experience unforgettable. Embrace the ease of digital payments today.
Hi, I'm Melissa, and I'm a survey enumerator with the Bahamas National Statistical Institute, or BNSI. For the next few months, we will be conducting the Household Expenditure Survey on various islands.
You might be wondering, why is this survey important? Well, it helps us to determine the poverty line and assess how to ensure everyone has access to the basic services they need. This information is used by the government, businesses, researchers, and students to make informed decisions and plan for the future. We know that your time is valuable, which is why we've made the survey as simple and easy as possible. And don't worry, all your information you provide is confidential.
Your participation will help us gather accurate information that will benefit everyone in the Bahamas. Thank you for your cooperation and being a part of shaping the future of the Bahamas.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, where safety is first.
Same up. You're looking at a shot of Fort Charlotte and Clifford Park. That shot courtesy of drone pilot Destiny Reed. Welcome back. Police tonight are keen on finding the arsonist behind an early morning blaze that has left a New Providence family homeless. Authorities say it was around 3 a.m. that one of 4 vehicles was set afire at a home on Roberts Drive, Coral Heights West. That fire quickly spread, completely destroying the 4 vehicles and the split-level home. Now, thankfully, the family of 4 who were inside asleep were awakened by the sound of a car alarm and safely evacuated. The home, however, was consumed by flames. According to police, the suspect was seen wearing a white shirt and black pants. We can tell you that this is the family home of our reporter and weather girl, Diane Dorsett, who will give us a more intimate report later this week. In the meantime, anyone with information is asked to contact police at telephone number 919 or 328-TIPS. And our thoughts and prayers are with our colleague Diane Dorsett. Well, when found, that arsonist could very well find himself behind bars, as the case with Edward Kristen Major, a.k.a. Twin, or EJ. The 22-year-old was arraigned Monday afternoon before Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley for the June 23rd murder of Linwood Roll. Now, Roll, who was in his mid-20s, was shot multiple times as he exited the yard of his Newbold Street off Blue Hill Road home. Prosecutor Inspector Dion Barr alleged that Major was concerned with others when he carried out the deadly act. Major, a resident of Constitution Drive, was not allowed to plead to the charge. He returns to court on October 2nd to be served a voluntary bill of indictment. Police also reporting another shooting, this one on Wilton Street near Tops Lumber after 4 this afternoon. Unconfirmed reports are that 3 men were in a silver-colored small 4-door Japanese vehicle. 1 was shot and injured, while 2 managed to escape. The motive behind the shooting still unclear. The injured man was taken to hospital. His condition unknown up to airtime. The matter is under active investigations. In related news, more information tonight from yesterday's dramatic display of that cache of firearms seized during a recent joint law enforcement operation that yielded weapons, ammunition, and marijuana. Police Commissioner Shanton Knowles giving the media a first-hand look at what officers confiscated during Friday's operation, while also assuring the public that police are not being outbest by criminals.
Just need the public to see, and for those who we may not have in custody to see that we got your guns, we have your marijuana, we have your ammunition, and my team will now be coming to look for you. But I want you to know that the operation, we believe, was successful, and we could not let these get into the hands of those on our streets who are causing havoc and creating fear.
Now, some of the weapons seized are regarded as ghost guns. The commissioner explains that classification.
Ghost guns means that they don't have serial numbers, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. Not impossible, but difficult to trace. But we have been working with our U.S. law enforcement counterparts, and we weren't able to trace over the many years a number of firearms.
A local charity comprising the Jamaican diaspora and driven by its passion for serving within the Bahamian community and bettering the healthcare system has made quite the donation to the Princess Margaret Hospital for the 7th year. Danielle Dean has the story.
Modern Day Samaritans, the 150-strong Hummingbird Association, has for years sought to fill a need in society. And for 7 years, the group has taken the Princess Margaret Hospital under its wing, providing much-needed assistance. And as the Hummingbirds' PR rep, Sharon Percy Cooper, shares, this year was no exception.
And they will have sent us a needs list. And so our attempt was to give them what we thought was most needed, as they indicated. And so today, we are giving a vital signs machine.
PMH Hospital Administrator Jessica Cartwright details the need for this modern machine.
We as healthcare providers, we try to make sure that we have everything that our patients need, and one of the most vital tools to be used is the Dynamap machine that we have behind us, and that will allow us to test our vitals and make sure that we are accurately providing care to our patients.
As Cartwright explained, some people might not even realize how vital such donations are to PMH's everyday operation.
We partner, and we look forward to opportunities to partner with community to make things happen for the Bahamian people in healthcare. Healthcare is not cheap, and so we're just looking forward to future years where they will partner with us to make things happen here at PMH.
We want to thank the Bahamian community, the government, for embracing the presence of Jamaicans here. And we would like for there to be an even stronger working together so we can build a wholesome, healthy, holistic, and happy country.
Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
In 2010, a grant helped Bahamas striping group of companies get started. Today, that seed has grown into a national force, building roads, airports, and brighter futures. Now, we're leading the way through public-private partnerships, what we call 3Ps, where government vision meets private sector innovation. 3Ps empowers local subcontractors, giving them the chance to bid. And with every contract, we're putting money directly into communities, creating jobs, supporting families, and fueling growth. From roads in Eleuthera to community centers in the inner city, we're not just laying asphalt, we're laying foundations for financial opportunity. At Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we believe in building more than infrastructure. We're building up Bahamians who build the Bahamas. 3Ps, public-private partnerships for people, progress, and prosperity.
Are you straight? Bro, I ain't getting no service. I can't make no calls. I can't post nothing on my stories. I don't get it.
Wait, you on the live?
Chad, come, let's fix that. Come. This one needs saving. Pull them over, please.
Say less.
Sign up today. Enjoy 5 gigs on us with select prepaid plans when you port your number to Alive, or 3 months free Alive fiber services when you port your landline.
Hey, ladies, where's the day? Oh, okay, thanks. Come on.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
I'm doing well. Look, he's meditating. You gotta give him at least an hour.
All right. I can wait. I ain't got nothing to do. Been the time saying now on to independence.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code. Select your payment amount and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
This portion of the news is brought to you by 700 Wines and Spirits, bringing celebration across the nation.
Flag raising ceremonies throughout the country kicking off at Mount Fitzwilliam, home to Government House, the official residence of the Governor General. And as expected, Dame Cynthia Pratt and Chair of the Independent Secretariat, Her Excellency Leslie Miller Bryce, were among those on hand to witness the day-long celebration in the run-up to the country's 52nd birthday.
We started the national flag-raising ceremony during our year of the 50th. We wanted to ensure that, we see the Bahamian flags throughout the country, and sometimes we just drive right past, not really realizing the importance, the strength, and really what it means. And so we just wanted to ensure that as we started our 50th anniversary year, that we raise our flags. And it didn't only happen here in New Providence, it happened in every family island, it happened all throughout the diaspora.
Bahamians are meantime encouraged to wear national colors, taking pride in the rich meaning behind them, our land, waters, and of course, our people. Oh, what's independence without the author of the pledge, Reverend Dr. Philip Ramming, who gave his approval for the advancement and achievement of independence 52 years in.
The population has grown to understand the responsibility. And Sir Lyndon, he worked hard in trying to cause us to understand and to work hard to keep it going. And from Prime Minister to Prime Minister, I think we are realizing now it's more responsibility than a show, and we are getting there to do a better job.
Well, we're going to toss it over now to our lovely ladies over there in Access Now for a sneak peek. We're all dressed, if you're wondering, in culture clothing. Ladies?
Yes, because we're all dressed in culture clothing, but we also have Bahamian music. It's on Taboo Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. That's our favorite. We love a good Taboo Tuesday, and we're going to be looking at Bahamian music and seeing what's coming out of that.
Yeah, those girls have all the fun over there. Our feature story is up next.
Diet-friendly special.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
J.S. Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
What you doing, man? Oh, you didn't know it? Popeye's giving up the $5,000 for summer, dog. Stop that. All you gotta do is purchase a NOLA box, any Popeye location. You can even enter online to win a NOLA box. What is this? That's a chicken sandwich, 2 tenders, fries, apple pie, drink for $13.95.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
Happy Independence Bahamas! Let's celebrate 50 plus together with a unique Janae's Uniform Center Independence print, dry fit polo or t-shirts, ribbons and pole bows in black, gold, and aquamarine. Janae's special family package includes buy 2 adults and 3 children Independence polos or t-shirts and get 15% off. Outfit your staff for a special Independence dress of week or day with a different design. For more than 30 pieces of Janae's Independence polos or t-shirts, get up to 25% discount. Janae's Uniform Center Chesapeake Road Independence Selections. Choose your favorite and celebrate 50 plus. Restrictions apply.
The new stuffed crust cheddar flavor has a taste you'll enjoy.
Outside and inside.
With a delicious stuffed crust covered in irresistible cheddar flavor. Come and try the new stuffed crust cheddar flavor only at Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
Not all such stories end well, but this next one certainly did. A father on Sunday made a daring rescue to save his daughter, and both lived to tell the tale. U.S. reports are that as the father attempted to take a picture, his daughter fell overboard into the ocean from a railing on deck 4 of the Disney Dream cruise ship. The father, we understand, quickly jumped into choppy seas, swam to his daughter, and the two treaded water as a dispatched Disney rescue boat quickly rescued them. They were brought back safely to the cruise ship as thousands of passengers cheered for the happy ending. And that does it for the National Report. But stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.
SBDC spots young Bahamian creatives. The details straight ahead.
And with more money in the kitty, the Ministry of Social Services remains relentless toward the advancement of disabled people.
Plus, it's Tuesday, so it must be time for Taboo Tuesday. Bahamian music is a topic. Stay close for that.
And coming up in sports, Sebastian Walcott selected to Major League Baseball's Futures Games.
The Bahamas Tonight Access Now starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis.
And I'm Marlena Leonard. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight Access Now.
Well, let me tell you, it's National Flag Day, Malena, and Culture Clothing is outfitting us tonight. Not to just mention, but we must get Let's Talk Socials. We're also going to see Mateus outfit by Culture Clothing.
I can't wait to see that. So, of course, we have to say a million thanks to our Independence clothes sponsor for the evening, Culture Clothing, for making all of us look absolutely fabulous.
Well, let's dive right into the news, shall we? In a groundbreaking effort to empower local talent, the Small Business Development Center brought the spotlight on the Bahamian creatives, turning a pop-up event into a launch pad for Dreams Drive, a real economic change. Amaya Moss takes it from here.
From handmade craft to customized fashion, Bahamian entrepreneurs filled the space with color, culture, and confidence at the Small Business Development Center's latest pop-up event. The event wasn't just about sales. It gave local creatives the opportunity to feature their brands, build relationships, and showcase the very best of what Bahamian innovation has to offer.
The inspiration was I worked in retail, and a lot of customers were looking for something that's made local, and they were having a hard time with that. So that inspired me as an artist to go ahead and do something towards the tourist market. And so that's what I do. I'm promoting our culture, promoting us as a people, promoting that we can make things that is natural and unique to the Bahamas.
Crowned in silk and style, Kiani's do-rags told their own story. The silk velvet patterns, each one a symbol of cultural pride and hustle, serving not just as headwear, it is heritage reimagined.
Well, I started drawing in the second grade. I always loved fashion since then, and then when I graduated high school, I was like, this could be my career. Like, this is what I love doing. So that's what prompted me to start this business. Well, the whole purpose of my business, Kanai, is to always create unique and innovative clothes. So, for example, with the Kanai do-rag, I wanted to make something that would make it more comfortable and easy to use for the customer. So that's what makes my business different. I'm always striving to see how products can be improved and innovative.
SBDC coordinator Alexia Johnson is the visionary behind the movement, driven by a fierce belief that Bahamian innovators deserve more than just a stage, drawing focus to the event as a chance for local business owners to honor their stories, break barriers, and claim their success.
So the SBDC is a hub for entrepreneurs in the Bahamas, and today's event is featuring one of the ways that we're able to support entrepreneurs, and that's through our Tingsy e-commerce platform. So we've been teasing this platform for some time, so now we're officially launching it, and we're very excited to feature some of our vendors out here at the Shop to See pop-up event. We have some visitors, some tourists that are out here, they're shopping, but then we also have some local shoppers that are just out on the beach for the day, just having a nice time with the family. So this is a great opportunity for that. And it gives back to the economy by giving an opportunity for people to reach new groups of clients.
The occasion this weekend was more than booths and business cards. It was purpose in motion. And with the Small Business Development Center leading the way, creatives aren't waiting for permission. They're taking what's theirs, rewriting the rules, and building legacies that won't be ignored. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, Access Now, I'm Amaya Moss.
Thanks, Amaya. Well, with more funding allocated to the fiscal period to service and expand local initiatives of the disabled, Minister of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, the Honorable Miles Larota, says his ministry remains relentless toward the advancement of persons with disability.
Disabled community were asking for a bus to transport individuals in the disabled community. Sometimes we think about a disabled person getting a job, but we don't think that of the cost to get that person to work. So just imagine if you're a disabled person on minimum wage and it's going to cost you $40 to get to work because of your equipment. That's both ways. That's $80. You won't work a full week. Or if you're working just to travel. And so, we have to sensitize the public to the needs of the disabled community. The government's position is that we should have at least 1% of our working population be somebody that's disabled. I encourage other companies, NGOs, to take a chance, and I say that tongue-in-cheek in terms of take a chance. A lot of these individuals only want an opportunity.
Recently led a delegation to the 18th Conference of States Parties to the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities at the United Nations headquarters in New York. He believes that while significant progress has been made locally toward disability inclusion, leading territories around the world should serve as a shining example of disability awareness.
Also at a conference in Berlin, Germany, and there were thousands, literally thousands of people, NGOs, countries that were represented. And it was amazing that I got to see firsthand how first world countries deal with the disabled. because we had at least 2 of our disabled members accompanied, Townsley Roberts and also Kendrick Roll, to see how the red carpet was rolled out, coming in and going out. There's an understanding there that notwithstanding leaders, and I use that quote unquote, were traveling, but the mere fact that we had 2 disabled persons, they went to the head of the line.
Many Bahamian women suffer from the pain and discomfort of fibroids in silence, but one radiologist is bringing hope. Desmond Saunders has a story.
It's a growing epidemic impacting a large percentage of Bahamian women in the country. Uterine fibroids are non-cancerous growths that develop in or around the uterus, and they're considered to be very common, affecting a large percentage of females of reproductive age. Interventional radiologist and medical director of the Bahamas Fibroid Interventional Clinic at the Family Medicine Center, Dr. Mikhail Higgins, listed pelvic pain and menstrual bleeding as some of the key symptoms.
And it affects 80 to 90% of women of African descent. Of course, many of the women in the Bahamas of African descent, 60 to 70% of white women, 23% of Asians. This is a condition that causes women to call out of work, at least once a month because of just heavy menstrual periods, an issue that causes women to just be devoid of energy, causes women to have miscarriages, causes women to be up in the middle of the night, forcing them to go to urinate multiple times a night. And it's an issue that causes women to not be able to enjoy intimacy with their partners.
The month of July is recognized as Fibroids Awareness Month, a time to spread awareness about the impact and possible dangers of the disease. Dr. Higgins believes knowledge is the best defense in protecting one's well-being, and he hopes Bahamians can take heed.
And so this is a month where we want women to be educated, to be aware, to really stand firm in solidarity that this is a month where they can celebrate this condition because there are options for treatment.
Dr. Higgins specializes in the non-surgical and non-invasive treatment of fibroids. He's hoping more Bahamians can step forward and explore various treatment options.
So the option for treatment that exists prior to me arriving was a hysterectomy, removing the uterus. And 2 was a myomectomy, where you have usually a cesarean section scar about yay big, where you go in and you pluck out the individual fibroids. Many women complain that, of course, having to remove their uterus is just like someone saying they have ticks on their dog and now they have to give their dog away to treat their ticks. The procedure that I introduced to the Caribbean in 2021 is one where we treat the entire blood supply to the fibroids. It's like treating the roots of a tree.
Medical specialists encouraging more women to seek medical treatment, as it's never too late to get quality medical care. Desmond Saunders, The Bahamas Tonight.
Thanks, Desmond. Well, Infertility Awareness Month has come to an end, but according to infertility advocate Dr. Latazia Stewart, the Bahamas is said to be making some significant strides in bringing awareness to this medical issue that's, of course, not only impacting Bahamians, but millions of couples around the world.
In the Bahamas, we will be recognizing and providing information and resources and hopefully bringing more corporate entities on board. We're increasing awareness in the workplace, in our churches, and otherwise. So the Bahamas is on the map in making sure that awareness is being put to this very important cause.
Dr. Stewart, the mastermind behind the Fertility Empowerment and International Conference that's attracted thousands of attendees locally and internationally to the Atlantis Paradise Island Resorts Ballroom, says next year's conference will be one for the history books.
It was beyond a phenomenal success. The turnout by those who are local and also from our international community was top tier. In fact, we have several entities within the U.S. and other countries who have already reached out inquiring how can they come to the Bahamas next year when we have our 3rd annual event. And so we're excited to bring that type of resource into our country.
Still to come, it's Tuesday, so it's time for an installment of Taboo Tuesday, and we're talking about Bahamian music today. Weather is also on the other side of the break, so stay close.
Internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting TingsyBahamas.com.
Hi, I'm Melissa, and I'm a survey enumerator with the Bahamas National Statistical Institute, or the CNSI. For the next few months, we will be conducting the Household Expenditure Survey on various islands.
You might be wondering, why is this survey important? Well, it helps us to determine the poverty line and assess how to ensure everyone has access to the basic services they need. This information is used by the government, businesses, researchers, and students to make informed decisions and plan for the future. We know that your time is valuable, which is why we've made the survey as simple and easy as possible. And don't worry, all your information you provide is confidential.
Your participation will help us gather accurate information that will benefit everyone in the Bahamas. Thank you for your cooperation and being a part of shaping the future of the Bahamas.
It's time now for your Access weather forecast. In that mid to upper level trough, it's dumped some heavy showers and thunderstorms around the islands. Well, it continues to lift towards the north. We are just on the outer end of that, and we will be clearing later on tonight, but those showers will continue over the extreme northwestern Bahamas. Abaco, Grand Bahama, and Bimini, they will still be in the mix tonight, but things will continue to dry out over the next couple of days. And your boating forecast, well, before we get to that, getting ahead of myself, in the tropics, though, we continue to monitor this area near northern Florida, and this hurricane center is giving it about a 30% chance of some kind of development. But whether it develops or not, it's going to create lots of showers along the Florida Peninsula. So if you're traveling into the Florida area over the next several days, well, that should be something you want to keep your eyes on. And your boating forecast tonight now, it's brought to you by Live Business, where we bulk up your business for the Northwestern Islands tonight and tomorrow. Those winds are going to be southeast at 10 to 15 knots. The wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Low tide, that takes place at 7:55 tonight. You can expect another low tide at 8:03 tomorrow morning. Now for the central and southeastern islands tonight and tomorrow, east to southeast winds 12 to 18 knots. The wave height 3 to 6 feet. So we're asking small craft to exercise caution in the central and southeastern islands right into tomorrow. Now as we take into Thursday in the northwestern and central islands, the winds become southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Wave height's not bad, 2 to 4 feet. Good boating conditions. Low tide 8:49 in the morning with the high tide at 3:14 in the afternoon. For the southeast Bahamas on Thursday, the wind southeast at 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet, maintaining that caution flag only for the southeast Bahamas on Thursday. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
When she calling, no slapping, I tell her I coming now. She's keep up about 1,000 inside a bra. She want a young man come and rev that engine like car. I think she graduate with my mom. But when she calling, no slapping, I tell her I coming now. I remember 21, I had a whole land was 52.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But join me at 11 o'clock for a full weather update. Marlena.
Thanks, Basil. Well, welcome to another Taboo Tuesday, where we shine a light on the things we whisper about but rarely say out loud. And this week, we're stepping into a kind of touchy subject because it's something sacred, our music. Here's Wes with the taboo topic for today, Bahamian music.
This is Taboo Tuesdays, where we talk about the uncomfortable topic, challenge the status quo, and confront the quiet. I'm Wes Calix Forbes, and it's time to get uncomfortable.
I sat down with popular Bahamian musician, producer, and entertainer Fred Ferguson, and he said something that stopped me in my tracks. It's a heavy statement, especially during this month of July, celebrating Bahamian pride and culture.
First of all, I detest using the words Bahamian music because we don't ever say Jamaican music. We don't say give me some American music. They all have names. So I think it is time now, 52 years in, that we identify who we are. You ask 10 Bahamians what's our music, you can get 10 different answers. breaking straight, junkanoo, calypso sometimes they say. And for the younger people, they don't even know any better, they say soca.
Ferguson believes that confusion comes from one simple truth. We don't have a standard name for our national sound. And maybe that's why we constantly try to define it, protect it, before we lose it entirely. His solution? Bring it all under one name, Gombe.
I believe that because Gombe, to me, and some of the other technocrats, is not a rhythm. It's a terminology. And we own that terminology, and we have a logo, even though the Gombe Punch, which has that happy face. We had a Gombe festival over the years. Older people will know when you came through customs and you cleared customs, they'll stick a Gombe sticker on your suitcase. So we have a thing that's marketable. And so I imagine that seeing it's such a Bahamian terminology and is affiliated with the music, we can name our music that. So were you from the Bahamas? Yes. What's your music? Gombe.
The entertainer also believes that all it takes is a signature to settle on the name of the Bahamian sound. But he isn't optimistic that the good old Bahamian days of music are coming back.
No. I say that partially because, but I don't blame you. I don't blame your generation because we have failed to identify it first. And then we have also failed to teach it. So it's now what is happening now is just by rote. People are just gravitating to what they hear.
Culture doesn't survive by accident. It survives when we fight to name it, nurture it, and pass it on. This has been Taboo Tuesday. Let's keep breaking the silence together.
And that's another installment of Taboo Tuesdays. Love it, Wes. Just keep them coming. Well, let's check in with ZNS Total Sports and see what's on tap.
And Sebastian Walcott to pair in his second MLB's All-Stars Futures game. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
Make every moment unforgettable with Shop Smart. From colorful floaties and water guns to light vests that keep fun safe. We've got everything you need to dive into the season. Planning a beach picnic? We've got the cutest sets and coolest bubbles to bring the vibes. And don't forget our trendy swimwear for all ages. Summer starts here, only at Shop Smart. Your Miracle, number 122 Matthew Street.
Ace Hardware Nassau wants you to be safe and prepared this hurricane season. Come browse our huge selection of products from flashlights, batteries, first aid kits, tarps, and more. Don't be caught off guard this hurricane season. Come on in to Ace Hardware Nassau, located off West Bay Street on St. Albans Drive. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff are eager to serve you. Or you can give us a call at 605-2470-71 or 72. We're open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Ace, the helpful place.
The new stuffed crust cheddar flavor has a taste you'll enjoy.
Outside and inside.
With a delicious stuffed crust covered in irresistible cheddar flavor. Come and try the new stuffed crust cheddar flavor only at Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
Welcome to What's Trending. Join me, Jiminita Swain.
And me, the Bahama Beauty, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m.
Only on the ZNS Network.
Welcome to your Tuesday Sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. Bahamian shortstop Sebastian Walcott was selected to participate in the MLB All-Stars Futures game set to take place on July 12th at Atlanta's Truist Park. Walcott, the top prospect from the Texas Rangers organization, played in last year's minor league exhibition game at Globe Life Field, will be among the highest profile prospects to headline this year's event. Walcott is MLB's number 9 overall prospect, has been one of the more productive teenagers at the minor league level this season. The 6'4" shortstop is hitting .247 with 8 home runs this season at AA Frisco. He's one of the youngest players in the Texas League. Earlier this year, he was a non-roster invite to the Texas Rangers spring training, and he recently appeared on MLB Network and spoke about his experience with some of the Rangers' top players.
It was amazing. I got to spend a lot of time with Marcus Semien, Corey Seager, Adolis, all those guys, and it was awesome. You know, just learn from them and just taking things away from the game and how they become so consistent throughout the year and what made them all-stars, you know, World Series MVPs, and how they're able to play at a big league level. They got after it every day. Marcus, he's in the gym at 6:30 in the morning, getting ready to practice. Wow! And then he's always moving. He's always doing something. And Corey, he has his own routine, getting ready for games. And they did it every day. And you see why they're good all-stars and good ball players.
So in baseball, the Bahamas Ministry of Tourism, Investments, and Aviation announcing a partnership with one of the more celebrated teams in all of American sports, the iconic New York Yankees, for the remainder of the 2025 baseball season. As part of this strategic collaboration, the Bahamas will engage with Yankees fans throughout the season via in-stadium branding, digital activations, and hospitality events, leveraging the global power of sports. The initiative aligns with the Bahamas' broader tourism strategy to inspire travel and deepen emotional connections with visitors. And of course, the Bronx Bombers, the current home of Bahamian baseball superstar Jazz Chisholm Jr. Let's look at your sports on this Tuesday. That's all the time we got for you until tomorrow. I'm Amajal Knowles, signing out.
Strong family bonds provide a crucial support system, often filling the gaps that might otherwise lead to reliance on social assistance.
If we get the family structure support system right, you won't see adult children willingly putting their parents in senior citizens' homes. You won't see anyone putting children up for adoption. We should be the safety net for when the family begins to have some challenges.
Addressing the root causes of dependency is essential, as our goal is to shift the focus from merely providing aid to fostering self-reliance.
We must be prepared to move persons from dependency to self-sufficiency to economic empowerment. And I'm asking the public to join us on this journey.
This has been the Heartbeat Brief, an inside look at the Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting.
Today is National Flag Day, and you're looking at a shot of our beautiful Bahamian flag, aquamarine, gold, and black, boldly flying atop Atlantis. That shot was brought to you courtesy of Mr. Kyson Miller, our summer intern. Great job. Well, it's time for us to take a flight down to Eleuthera. Let's go.
Anchors up, Exuma. A wave of compassion is heading your way as LHD prepares to launch its upcoming medical mission set for August 25th through 27th. After months of prayer, planning, and persistence, Samaritan's Purse has answered the call to delivering a generous shipment of medical supplies to support the effort. A special thank you goes out to William Sturry, who played a key role in coordinating the donation. As a sailing capital of the Bahamas, it's only fitting that Exuma becomes the launch pad ad for healing, hope, and heartfelt care. The LHD team is pulling into port with purpose, and they can't wait to serve the people of Exuma. Marlena?
Samaritan's Purse is on the way, and that is definitely good news for Exuma. Our Matea Cunningham is up next with a look at Let's Talk Socials.
Happy National Pride Day, everyone. What an amazing day to be Bahamian. I take great pride in knowing that I have the luxury to throw on my Bahamian paraphernalia, drive down to the Fry, purchase a premium conch salad, and eat it on the beach. Today, I'm shedding some light on an Aberconian family who went viral with their first ever video on TikTok. I won't explain it to you. I'll just let this little guy show you.
My wig is on the water. Free diving, through no linings. How I survive.
He's a natural. That's what I call a Bahamian talent. Comment down below if you have the ability to deshell a conch. I ask because many of the commenters shared that they don't know how to. Such a Pratt said, bruh, ain't no way I was struggling for my life to unconch a conch. And Det said, me looking at this knowing I've never pulled a conch out of its shell in my 23 years of living as a Bahamian woman. It's always a pleasure to see our little ones continuing on the little things that make up our culture. I'm Matea, and this has been Let's Talk Socials.
That made me hungry. I want a scorched conch now.
That's true. That's too cute, but also, yes, I'm on my way to go get like crack conch. I think
Crack conch?
Yeah, I think that's what I would want tonight. That's what sounds good
He's
for me.
always hungry, guys.
I am.
That does it for Access Now for this evening. Make sure to join us tomorrow when we have some balloon makers live in studio.
Yeah. But tonight, stay tuned for the rundown with Clint Watson, and have a good one.
Good night, everybody.
Seems easy, but we put thought into what we're doing. The Bahamas Tonight Access Now, here to inform, educate, and entertain. A new type of newscast featuring social media trends, news from around the islands, interviews with the people you like in our communities, sports, weather, and fabulous entertainment. That's a Bahamas Tonight Access Now with Marlena Leonard and LaDon Davis. 7:30, Monday to Friday. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Strong family bonds provide a crucial support system, often filling the gaps that might otherwise lead to reliance on social assistance.
If we get the family structure support system right, you won't see adult children willingly putting their parents in senior citizens' homes. You won't see anyone putting children up for adoption. We should be the safety net for when the family begins to have some challenges.
Addressing the root causes of dependency is essential, as our goal is to shift the focus from merely providing aid to fostering self-reliance.
We must be prepared to move persons from dependency to self-sufficiency to economic empowerment. And I'm asking the public to join us on this journey.
This has been the Heartbeat Brief, an inside look at the Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting.
Welcome to What's Trending. Join me, Jiminita Swain.
And me, the Bahama Beauty, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m.
Only on the ZNS Network.
thought of colon cancer never really crossed my mind until 2019, when a very good friend of mine was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. I was shocked. Everybody was shocked because he was a picture of perfect health. He was young, athletic, successful, and full of life. Many of us are still in disbelief. I started to question my own health because if it happened to him, surely it could happen to me. Then came the fear, the anxiety, and everything else in between. Facing your own mortality is very sobering. But for me, I decided right then to have a colonoscopy. And I'm glad I did.
Colon cancer is the third most common cancer diagnosed in Bahamian men and women. Fortunately, almost all colon cancers are preventable. A colonoscopy or some other appropriate form of colon cancer screening is recommended for everyone over the age of 45. During a colonoscopy, we can detect and remove colon polyps that may grow and later become colon cancers. Don't wait until you develop symptoms, such as blood in your stool, abdominal pain, a significant change in your bowel habits, or unintentional weight loss. These may all be indications of a severe problem that requires immediate attention. If you're over the age of 45 or have any of those symptoms, talk to your doctor about the benefits of colon cancer screening today.
With our adoption by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
We figured that we could use the First Bahamas branch of Toastmasters Club 1600, an all-male club that specializes and focuses on developing young men for leadership through communication.
This program has grown and has impacted our school in such a positive way that I don't think we'll ever have them leave us.
Too often, instead of us looking within, we look outside for someone to blame. Go take a look in the mirror. Instead of trying to identify what the problems are, let's try and figure out how we become a part of the solution.
We are teaching these children how to dream beyond their communities.
Crime-free looks like me.
Do your part. Join the movement to a safer Bahamas.
This evening at 9 p.m. on ZNS Television. Join us for part 2 of our Family Island tour to Acklands, Crooked Island, and Long Key as Minister Miles LaRota and his team conclude their final town hall meetings with the residents of our Southern Islands. That's taking social services to the people this evening at 9 p.m. only on ZNS Television. Social services, the heartbeat of the nation.
Well, what about me? What about you? What? Well, like I see too, you know. You want to see all the water out there? Well, why you don't give me your water, and then you go try and drink that salt water? You crazy, eh? I ain't the one talking to a dog, you know. Nobody can drink salt water. Then why you won't give it to me? All dogs need fresh, cool water and sufficient shelter from the sun all year round, especially on the beach and during the hot summer months.
Summers are very hot here in the Bahamas, so please make sure all pets have ample, cool, fresh water in proper containers and sufficient shelter from the sun, even on the beach. And make sure all dog houses and kennels have proper ventilation. Let's make it Bahamian to be humane.
This message has been brought to you by the Bahamas Humane Society and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Abuse, domestic violence, suicidal tendencies. Are you being stressed out from these problems? Call the national hotline at 422-2763 or 322-2763. There are trained social workers available 24 hours to help you. Know that you are not alone in this.
I don't know, but there's all kind of cars in the parking lot. You ain't even know where to park. Yeah, that's what I'm parking. Look at this way. Like, you ain't getting nowhere to go. Don't park. Just don't park. Don't park over here. That's handicap. No, you can't park on handicap. I ain't gonna be that long. I ain't gonna be that long. Handicap spot here. Hey, what's going on, dog? Well, I tell you we shouldn't park here now. This way parking, bro. I tell you we shouldn't park here. Don't get one of these things. My bar big rope, and he got a stick inside. Just say, this model, we gotta move this honey. That's what we gotta move. But we gotta move. Don't we move right now? Sorry.
Be considerate. Don't use disabled parking spaces without a decal in your vehicle. This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities.
Hey, y'all, what's up?
Hey, what's that?
What y'all getting?
Listen, I've been waiting to march down some logs here. Hi, I'm Matthew. I will be you guys waited today. Can I take your order?
Oh, I've been choosing for some grouper tread.
Y'all see this?
See, this ain't gonna work.
Where the fish gone, though?
But how though?
Don't leave our children with no fish in their future. Protect our sea. Protect our way of life. Protect the Bahamas. To learn how you can help, find us on Facebook at Bahamas Protected. See the future. At Aisle 1, I'm Ted Jervis, and this is ZNS.
The Rundown is brought to you by Commonwealth Brewery Limited. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the show. It's great to have all of you with us, joining us tonight. An exciting show ahead for the night. Well, for the next 12 months will bring for the economy is anyone's guess. But the government has mapped out a plan that it hopes will end with it presenting the first balanced budget since gaining independence. Because Lapinda gives us a recap tonight of what's in store.
Grow the economy, reduce spending, improve revenue collection, and find new sources of revenue. The Davis administration's patting itself on the back for having checked all those boxes, putting it on a clear path it believes to not just balance the budget, but pull in a projected surplus of $75 million once the 2025-2026 fiscal year wraps up. Today kicks off that 12-month period, one the government projects will lead to a total revenue of $3.89 billion, or 23.6% of GDP. Total expenditure is estimated to amount to $3.82 billion. To meet its revenue projection, the government plans to improve compliance, and these measures cover immigration, customs, and water sports. It will also update outdated frameworks. In terms of the money projected to go out, there's that much talked about public service salary review, an expansion of health coverage for all government employees, an investment of more than $30 million in infrastructure, and nearly $30 million in social assistance. Now, while Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Philip Davis, has expressed deep optimism about the road ahead, he acknowledges it will not always be easy. The fiscal year runs through June 30th, 2026.
And this is a budget that's expected to be one what the government is hoping is going to help catapult it, no doubt, into the next general elections, right? So it's supposed to be that budget where people are going to be taken care of and where there are going to be some things happening. What the Prime Minister and his administration has been stressing is that it's going to be a budget that spans the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, not just New Providence, one that goes across the islands. They've been touting projects on various islands so that Bahamians everywhere, not just in the capital, are going to feel relief. Now, whether they're going to be able to deliver on that is what the big question is going to be. Because at the end of the day, if they have challenges delivering on it, it's going to no doubt impact them going to the polls.
If they are able to successfully deliver on it, then you're going to have more Bahamians who feel as though this is working for them. Why change the course? Stay the course if it's working for you. So it's going to be very important to see just how government executes what it has planned. There are some that believe there's going to be a tall order to fill, and they won't get it done. But it'll be interesting to see just how they plan on going at it. No doubt those who are in the political arena are not just going to give them a free pass and say, well, go ahead and implement your plan. There are going to be a lot of people who are going to do a lot of checks and balances on that plan and see whether or not indeed is being spread across and giving people benefit or only a select few will benefit versus the masses, whether or not it's really a budget that people are seeing relief or are they still hurting. That's going to be what the debate there is all about. On to another big story tonight, though. A portion of the new budget comprises a new fee structure for boaters that's causing some backlash from industry stakeholders. They allege the government's decision came without consultation and will undoubtedly topple the country's position as a top destination. The industry stakeholders warning if not revisited, may result in a revenue loss in the millions, sending mariners searching for an alternative vacation destination with greater ease of business. Tonight, Lloyd Allen takes a look at this story. Let's take a look at it.
The Customs Management Amendment Regulations 2025 creating some havoc throughout the mariners here in the country.
Things were said like consultation was given and all of that. It absolutely wasn't.
President of the Association of Bahamas Mariners, Peter Morey, confirming the new fees pegged to a frequent digital cruising card, a fishing permit, and anchoring fees, all reportedly not accessible through the government's Click-to-Clear portal, can cut deep into the country's coffer.
Tourism actually made an estimate somewhere between 90 and 120 million. So that's a fairly significant loss in revenue. I mean, in taxes, that's $10 million to the government.
Morey adds the impact of the amended fee structure can also discourage boaters from choosing to dock locally.
Other Caribbean countries, our neighbors, Turks and Caicos, they saw an 82% increase and we saw a 30% decrease. So it shows you, where they don't have these fees and it's relatively easy.
He reasons spin-off businesses are also set to sink rather than swim amidst the changes.
Like cleaning companies and technical companies and, all those kind of things, shore-supported businesses, the florist, the provisioner, and these are all like very small businesses and of course the marinas.
Morey believes as his industry represents a significant portion of the gross domestic product, a shift in execution may be the calm needed to settle this storm.
They need to sit down and listen to the stakeholders in the industry. They have to understand that there's so many Bahamians involved in this industry throughout the Bahamas.
In his budget contribution last week, Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Senator the Honorable Ryan Pinder, defended the amendments as fair and balanced.
We've moved the threshold for the first tier of fees from this up to 50 feet. We heard the industry. The industry said, and we've seen the proliferation of larger recreational boats. Say 34 feet, which is what the regulations had, is too small. We hear you. Now we moved it to 50 feet. So those for this frequent digital cruising card, not exceeding 50 feet, is $1,500. Remember, that's for 2 years.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
All right, thanks, Lloyd. Now, this is a story that I've been hearing about out in the marketplace for some time, and it's interesting that we're doing it tonight because that is the concern. If you're doing so well in the boating sector and you're doing so well in maritime, why jeopardize an industry that's growing by increasing significantly the fees attached to it? And here you see persons in the industry saying, listen, we weren't consulted on it, we weren't talking about it. The government is saying the rationale is, for some years there was nothing being collected, a lot of people going scot-free, and so we're now trying to make sure we collect that revenue that's outstanding. And so it's going to be interesting to see whether there can be a medium ground there, because I get it. You have to collect what's been outstanding. But yes, you can't collect it all at one time because you didn't collect it for years. And I agree that you can't overtax an industry that's doing well, because then you run away the business and then you're left with nothing. So government is going to have to do a very tall balancing act, trying to find a medium to bring relief, but still collect those taxes. And they believe that they're not as high as they are in other jurisdictions. Perhaps we'll talk about this with my panel a little later in the show and get their take on this, because it's going to be an issue that sticks around. There'll be one final story I want to bring to you, and that's, of course, to follow up on a story we aired last night. Tensions are apparently rising in the Fox Hill constituency following claims of vandalism at the professional office of the Free National Movement's candidate, Dr. Nicholas Fox. Now, Dr. Fox alleges the incident was politically motivated. However, at a press conference today, Fox Hill MP, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, responded those accusations are premature.
The evidence has to be there for you to conclude that there was a political motive for something which happened. So the question is, where is the evidence? And the problem is that the only thing that could be said by this innuendo is an accusation that somehow the party opposite you had something to do with it. Well, that is ridiculous on the face of it. And I would urge his leaders to train him in future how to deal with things which are emergencies. If he doesn't know, he can get advice.
Well, that's a member of Parliament for Fox Hill. If you know Fred Mitchell, he does not mince words. And he will school you, and he will tell you just how he feels. Interesting there. As we heard that story last night play, I did wonder for a moment. I said, is it going to go just like this, or is there going to be backlash? When he did say on national television that he believes it's because he was nominated. That is a very bold accusation to make unless you have evidence. And I think while he is new to politics, he's going to learn that you have to be very careful what you assert publicly without evidence in the absence of evidence, because when you assert that something has happened to you because of politics, you got to have your facts, because people will come for you. And people will say, well, based on what? Are you just saying that because you feel targeted? Or are you saying that based on somebody threatened you? Are you saying that based on the fact that somebody left evidence saying, we were here? What is there to prove that this was politically motivated? And, it could be any number. It's no longer just a party opposite, as the minister says. You're assuming it's a party opposite. No, it could be several parties opposite. You have several of them. You see a number of them tonight. And so, it's accusations that could be levied against any one of those. But like we said last night, let's hope this is on the direction that we're taking the political season in, going over the next year. Let's hope that's not what we're doing. We're not going to bring the criminal element into it. We're going to try and be above board and do this maturely as Bahamians, because at the end of the day, it's country first, not party first. Country first. And so we have to remember that, right? Well, that's just the start of what many will be describing as political peril as the general election campaign heats up. The country's 39 parliamentary seats will be up for grabs, so it could be 40, maybe 41. And the major political parties will be doing all they can to get your vote. We're going to be kicking off our political season. We've got a hot show tonight planned for you. We've got our first political panel that will discuss some of the topics on the political scene, representation from the major parties in politics, and we're going to talk about it tonight, hear exactly where each party stands on the country's major issues and why you should support them in the next general elections. Are you familiar with the issue? Do you know what the issues are? We got to make sure that this season you get to know the issues. We're going to talk about the issues. We're talking about people. We're not knocking people's family. We ain't knocking people's personal life. We're not doing that. We're focusing on the issues. And my panel are going to do just that. Members of my panel, they're going to talk about the issues. Are you ready? So you ready? Get yourself some water or get yourself some tea or coffee. It's going to get intense right here at this desk. It's going to be a real political showdown. We have representatives from the Progressive Party, Free National Movement, Coalition of Independents, and of course, we're not leaving her out. Yeah, the Constitution, People's Constitution Party. No, that's wrong. The Bahamas Constitution Party, BCP. We're going to have them here as well. And we're going to talk about the issues. You're watching the rundown here on the ZNS Network. Our conversation begins right after the break. Stay with us.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting TingsyBahamas.com.
Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we have been in Exuma now for the past 4 years, carrying out our paving program. A part of our company's philosophy is to do some work to international standards. So when you look at our paving division, we have a state-of-the-art lab to do all of our testing in-house, as well as a state-of-the-art asphalt plant with a trained technician carrying out the work on that site. The overarching goal of our company is to produce the work that we're doing in the entire Bahamas to international standards. We also make a difference by the training of our staff. We have a very intensive training program going on to where we are teaching our young men how to learn the art of striping. Being a young man myself, I've made mistakes in the past. I was given a second chance to better my life, and it's only fitting that we pass it along. What's important for us is giving them a second chance for them to get a skill and a career that could take them further in life.
Disabilities Sunflower is a globally recognized symbol for persons with invisible disabilities.
The Sunflower lanyard made our journey less stressful, smoother, and more inclusive.
REACH is proud to support the Hidden Sunflower Scheme, which makes the invisible visible. So far, the Nassau Airport Authority and the Nassau Cruise Port are Sunflower certified.
So if you see someone with a Sunflower lanyard, always remember to be patient and ask if they need some help. Please be kind and always remember to show respect.
We wish to encourage more hotel operators with amenities such as water parks, restaurants, cinemas, government offices to join this initiative, making the Bahamas a more sunflower-friendly country.
Please feel free to reach out to the REACH office at 328-4123, or you can reach out to the National Commissions for Persons with Disabilities at 396-8700.
The new stuffed crust cheddar flavor has a taste you'll enjoy.
Outside and inside.
With a delicious stuffed crust covered in irresistible cheddar flavor. Come and try the new stuffed crust cheddar flavor only at Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
In 2010, a grant helped Bahamas Striping Group of Companies get started. Today, that seed has grown into a national force, building roads, airports, and brighter futures. Now, we're leading the way through public-private partnerships, what we call 3Ps, where government vision meets private sector innovation. 3Ps empowers local subcontractors, giving them the chance to bid. And with every contract, we're putting money directly into communities, creating jobs, supporting families, and fueling growth. From roads in Eleuthera to community centers in the inner city, we're not just laying asphalt, we're laying foundations for financial opportunity. At Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we believe in building more than infrastructure. We're building up Bahamians who build the Bahamas. 3Ps, public-private partnerships for people, progress, and prosperity.
Welcome back to the show. It's great to have you joining us, particularly those of you who are watching from the Turks and Caicos Islands, the region, internationally, those of you tuning in around the world, and of course here at home on your various platforms, if you're on YouTube, and of course if you are here in the Lion's Den. I see you all here in the Lion's Den, live and active as usual. Welcome to the show. It's great to have you. Well, it's July 1st. 2025, and it appears as though 2026 general election fever is in full swing. The major political parties are beginning to introduce their candidates for next year's political showdown while voicing their concerns about issues of national interest and listing their plans to govern the country's affairs if they are indeed elected. Tonight, we have a panel that will talk pretty much all things politics and political, and you can hear for yourself what their primary issues of concern are. I'll introduce them to you. Of course, Kyle Dean, who supports the Progressive Liberal Party. The Free National Movement's Vice Chairman is here, Denary Roll. Coalition of Independents Deputy Leader, Dr. Veronica MacGyver, and Bahamas Constitution Party Servant Leader, Dr. Ali McIntosh. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. It's great to have all of you here. It's great to be here. So we're here. Is that time again? Yes. Right? And we're talking about what is the best for the country going forward. And of course, the question is just simply that. What do you believe is the direction the Bahamas ought to go in following the next country's general election? So, I want to begin with you, Ali.
It's good to be here. The country needs to go in a more subtle, calmer tone in terms of the decorum of those who are governing. I think that what we are doing with all of this loud speaking and shouting, I know it's election, however, partying and governing are two different things, and we need to have a very healthy balance as to what that looks like. So if all the campaigning is about reveling and partying and screaming and shouting and tearing down one another, what do we expect governance should be? So we have to find the balance between governing and politicking, and that's where the country needs to go. That is where the Bahamas Constitution Party wants to take it.
Are you feeling that during election season, the issues are being lost in the rhetoric of it's election time, the fever, the excitement, the show? You know, we've made these rallies now almost like productions.
Yes.
Do you believe the message is being lost?
Definitely it's being lost. It is just too much. It is too much. When we see 5,000 people at a rally, remember there's at least 250,000 voters who did not want to be involved with that. And so we have to remember it is more about those people who are not there than those people who prefer to come out, have a party, dance, enjoy this reveling, have some chicken and a t-shirt and all of that. But there are those people who want the decorum to come back to the country, so that when we talk about how we fix the country, it's all about the real balance, the real healthy way that we actually do business, that we actually live, and that is what is needed. This screaming that even the PLP chairman does every day is so ridiculous. If we can just tune it down and deal with those people who never show up at a rally, that is what the country needs to be talking about.
I want to bring Dr. MacGyver in there because Coalition of Independents are very vocal in their beliefs and views, much to always being criticized as being radicalist. How do you feel about it?
Listen, there is a saying that when the righteous rule, the people rejoice. When the wicked rule, the people groan. Listen, after majority rule, there was some rejoicing for about 10 years. After that, it's been a decline in rejoicing. And right now, we are in the era where I believe the people are groaning. That should tell you who is governing us at the present time. And so I feel as if we need to change the trajectory of where we're going. And COI is the new wine that cannot be placed in the old wine skins, and we're here to take the Bahamas to the new Bahamas. So we're saying take our hands. I could talk for hours and hours on our policies, but that is where we need to go. And so when it comes to our main focus right now is immigration. Right now our country is in crisis mode when it comes to that. There are other issues that we're dealing with like health and land and stuff. But the number one issue is immigration. And right now, Brave Davis, our Prime Minister, he's not defending the Bahamian people. And he is not looking after the soul of the nation. And if we lose the soul of the nation, in the next 5 years, if the PLP wins, we will not have a country. That's what I predict. Well,
that's a strong statement.
That's a very strong statement, and I am serious with that. I am really concerned, and I am not a politician. I can tell the Bahamian people that. So I have gotten into the fight because I see the path that we're going, and it's not a good path. So I decided to come into the race and help the Bahamas turn the corner and go into the right direction. And I believe this is a God movement. I see God opening up the pathways for COI. Every couple of months, I see a new pathway open for us. We just opened our headquarters. That was a blessing from God. I feel the wind beneath our wings. And let me tell you something. This is a God move, and we're not going to stop until we take the Bahamas to the new Bahamas.
All right, I'm going to come to Kyle last, because it's all seems to be pointed towards the direction. The Free National Movement, you just released your first set of candidates. It's been a lot of reaction to that. What is the FNM trying to do? Is the FNM trying to reinvent itself and present a new party that's able to take the Bahamas into the future, or it seems to be this separation that we're not the old them, we're the new them?
Okay, well, as you know, the FNM would have had 2 conventions since the last election, and Michael C. Pinta would have been the duly elected leader twice. So we're getting ready to head into the general election with him as the leader. One of the things you will hear him talk about, and what you would see, Clint, from this FNM regime coming, is that we believe in unstoppable change. Some of the things that, we did make some mistakes in the past, and as with any family, you have your disagreements and your issues, but those are challenges that you work on, you handle inside. What is important is that you come together and ultimately focus on what your new task, what your new goal is, because everything rises and falls on leadership. So you have a new leadership team now, and the mandate is to bring unstoppable change. One of the things you'll keep hearing and what you'll keep seeing is servant leadership, genuine leadership. The Bahamian people now need leaders that actually are concerned about their well-being and things that they want to hear. And so when you look at the policies that we'll be bringing, because we're in the 21st century, and we're talking about a place that with, 2 ambulances or 3 ambulances island-wide, and we beating up on this, and we beating our chests like we're doing something. We're talking about, when you look around the country, fires happening every day, and we barely have enough fire trucks to deal with these matters. And so one of the things that you were saying earlier in the show is we need to focus on the details, focus on things that matter, focus on things that impact the lives of the Bahamian people in a serious way. And if you would look so far, the leader would have rolled out some of these plans already. When you talk about a national fire strategy, when you talk about unlocking a housing revolution, when you're talking about even getting rid of the brain drain in this country and ensuring fair play in the public service. And so when you look at the policy, the agenda, the leaders, and the people that be representing the Free National Movement, it'll be genuine leadership, humble leadership, and people who just want to serve the Bahamian people to ensure empowerment is done in their lives.
All right. Kyle, I'll let you out of the gate, because it seems as if all of the energy is focused on the Progressive Party, and based on what people are saying here, governance that's inadequate. What do you say?
Let me say this, Clint. Let me first of all address Dr. MacGyver, who I admire from a distance. It is under the PLP where we've had record-breaking repatriations back to Haiti and all these different countries. It is under the PLP that immigration became most efficient than it has been under any other government. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say, the status or the issue of immigration is perfect. I believe that we have a long way to go. I believe that we need reform. But to say or make the accusation that, that the Prime Minister is somehow supporting the migration issue, I believe is very disingenuous. Looking at the record of record repatriations and all these record arrests, record immigration operations, shanty towns are being torn down. Shanty towns were torn down in Abaco, all over New Providence. Shanty towns were torn down. We had a whole shanty town task force that went island to island, tearing down shanty towns. And if you go to Abaco, where they call the mud, that you drive that highway, you would see that a gate is up, and the shanty town that existed there has since overgrown with trees, etc. And so, although the situation of immigration isn't perfect, although we don't support illegal migration, we have a long ways to go, but it is unfair to say that that the Progressive Liberal Party or the Prime Minister, by extension, in some way supports it. I could go one further. When it comes to good governance, we have record-breaking tourism numbers. We have record-breaking agreements signed with unions. Under the last or the former administration, unions could not even get an audience with their government. You had one incident where the Prime Minister just jumped in his car when the unions went to his office and just left. So we have signed more than 55 labor agreements, and we signed a few more in the month of June. We are increasing the salaries of civil servants. We have launched the government's rent-to-own program. Urban renewal is on fire. Tourism is on fire. The Tourism Development Corporation is on fire. Social services expanding and making it easier for persons with disability to access work. The Minister Bell is making it easy for persons with disability to access housing. And so I believe, although we don't have a perfect country yet, although I believe everybody to this table wants to see a perfect country. We want a country that's thriving. We may have different ideas on how to get there. But I believe that the direction that we are going today is a direction that is going to move the country forward. Look at the budget. Record-breaking income for government, balancing the budget, projection of a surplus. Let's look at all of these things in a objective manner, not from the lens of politics. And we would see that the government is actually doing what it's supposed to do. That is governing the interests of people. And all Bahamians are that. Whether you're PLP, whether you're FNL, whether you're COI, whether you are from McIntosh's party, I believe that the government is doing its endeavor best to govern for all Bahamians. Not only that, I believe that when we look at how the Bahamas has been for the past 20, 25 years. 1 minute we are PLP, 1 minute is an FNM. So we've been flipping through both parties, and I believe that is a big reason why we have a setback. Because the PLP loses, the FNM comes, stop review, cancel, start everything over from scratch. And so we are losing time, we are losing effort, and I believe we are losing a lot of good ideas in this back and forth between the both parties. And I believe this amongst good governance is one of the main reasons why Bahamians should support the PLP in a 2026 general election.
Can I go first? Okay. Listen, the problem I have with what you are saying, right, is that the PLP, the present government, does not have transparency and accountability when it comes to immigration. That is the problem we're having. People are asking questions like how many citizenship was granted, naturalization, how many people changed their names. Nobody is getting the correct answer. I believe the government is being very deceptive to the people, and unless you are transparent, how can you run a good governance?
So
it's not good governance.
Because good governance is all about
hold on, let me finish. I want to finish this point. When I become the Minister of Health, I am going to need data, good data, to when I build the new health city and how many beds I need to put in. If this government is not telling us how many citizens are in this country or how many, we don't even have the number, how would I be able to make that determination? So I believe this government is being very deceptive, young man, and they need to come forth to the Bahamian people.
Do you think the figures are being intentionally withheld, or do you believe it's, I'm thinking all of these ministries are run by public servants. Yeah. And these are information that you ought to be readily available that you can obtain. Do you believe it's a deliberate attempt to withhold?
Yes.
And they're being told?
Yes, I believe it's a deliberate attempt because some people attempted to get the information and they cannot get the proper information.
And I do believe if I
want to touch, sorry, Miss McIntosh, not to cut you off, but I can't let Carl get away with calling Dr. McIver's comments disingenuous.
Yes.
What leader of the country from Sir Lyndon to now have you seen on record in a community saying, I am you and you are me? You're not Haitian. You are Bahamian. Your origin is Haitian. No leader of this country was in no community standing up with what we would call illegal immigrants and endorsing their messaging. And then to take it a step further, because he said this stop, cancel, and review issue about the FNM, that's what we do. We are sitting down right now.
I did not attribute
that's what you did. Where the minister of the BPL said, our lights were going down,
It's drastically risen now. You had a former minister who was on record with the Prime Minister lying about 10 to 12 times that stopped the hedge program, which was actually working where we saw a decrease. But you're talking about stop, cancel, and review. So, Carl, sometimes you sound good and you speak fluff and pretty, but like the show host said tonight, let's focus on the details. Let's look at the results of these decisions that are being made. Accountability is a key part of government, and the Progressive Liberal Party chairman is on record stating the Freedom of Information Act, nobody will know about that. That's a no-brainer. That's behind us. Behind people don't care about that. So when you ask about if they want to be accountable, they telling you what's going on. And the Prime Minister tell you, don't ask me no questions. Don't ask me nothing else. Don't tell me nothing no more. I ain't talking about it. So their attitude and their position on what the Bahamian people should know is on record for all to see. And I ain't saying that because I represent the party.
I must say, be honest with it. When you said it just now, that brought back deja vu. So when I was a frontline reporter, I remember Dr. Minnis not answering questions. I remember Dr. Minnis shutting down the media. And we asked about the freedom of information, and he didn't answer. He didn't make any attempt. So again, I see this is where I believe sometimes the COI and other parties make very valid points in that, sometimes the same stick we've beaten the government with, you were doing 5 years ago. And that's why Bahamians are to the point of disgust. Because in your opposition, you say, no, you got to do it this way. You got to do it this way. And then in government, you ignore the people. I think that's what the issue has been.
If I may, when we talk about good governance is about core values. We have abandoned, and successive governments over the last 20 years has abandoned the core values of the Constitution, the preamble of the Constitution, which gives us the core values in which we should govern. I've written a book, How to Reconstruct a Nation. Based on that, this young man just purchased a copy. And the Prime Minister also have one. But what I'm saying is the core values that we need to govern a nation means there are some things that must happen. He spoke about the labor unions signing agreements. But those are government workers. Shouldn't government give contracts to the workers? How could they put that as some big brownie point? It is something that you should do. They work for you. They should have a contract, and it shouldn't be 3 years later. And also, when he talked about, well, of course, the labor unions, it's really a moot point. But I think how people feel in the nation is also important to good governance, because we have a country where people are running to Canada and the United States because they don't want to stay in the Bahamas because of the criminal activity, because of the government, because of the rhetoric that we are back and forward. Young people just want to exist. They just want to be happy. They don't want to have to live in a country where they are feeling so tense. You can imagine I have a whole group of nieces and nephews left, and they're working the same little menial jobs that they would have worked here. And so when we have a country that we can't make it suitable enough for everyone to live, we have lost sight of what it means for good governance. And when we talk with the Freedom of Information Act for the last 25 years, and successive governments continue to say, we're going to do it because it sounds good. However, when they get to office, they say it's not a priority. You can imagine 4 years into this PLP administration saying that it doesn't matter, that we have other things to do. Then why would you say it? Why would you lie to the Bahamian people? We have a problem with people who are prepared to lie to the Bahamian people. That is where good governance ends, when you are prepared to lie.
I will let you pick it up right after the break. I need to go to a commercial break and pay some bills, and we'll come right back and pick up our conversation. You're watching the Rundown. We're back after this. Stay close.
At Frame Studio, as soon as you enter the door, we showcase any individual that comes in there and make it feel like they are at home. The space itself is 1,800 square foot. Our psych wall, which is industry standard also, is 24 feet wide. You can do anything that you can possibly think of. At Frame Studio, under our theme, Now Create More, we look at Frame Studio as a canvas. And any artist knows a canvas is blank, and then you create whatever you want to do, right? So we have where you could rent tools. We even have workstations that people could rent out to anyone inspiring to do what I've done, or what my colleagues have done, or any other journey I would say to you, don't be afraid. The worst someone can actually tell you is no. So if you have a vision, you have an idea, not everyone will get it. But if you believe in your vision, you believe in your idea, I say go wholeheartedly at it.
For more information about the Creative Entrepreneurs Initiative and the Crafting the Bahamas workshops, email info@sbdcbahamas.com or call us at 461-7232.
Did you know you could send a local bank transfer to a Sand Dollar wallet? It's the same as sending a transfer to an account at another local bank. Simply use the wallet's 12-digit top-up address as the account number, savings as the account type, Central Bank of the Bahamas as the bank, and Sand Dollar as the branch with branch code or transit number 12,000. Don't use urgent or priority delivery. Transfers to Sand Dollar wallets are processed through the Bahamas Automated Clearinghouse Network within 1 business day.
Your home is your sanctuary. The last thing you need to worry about is rodents. Once they enter your property, they can be tough to get out. If you're concerned about rodents, call Rent-A-Kill Initial. We offer the latest, most effective treatment for safe, fast, and long-lasting results. From prevention to elimination, our integrated approach guarantees protection. For rodent control you can trust, there's only one name in the Bahamas. Rent-A-Kill Initial.
Hey, ladies, where's the day? Oh, okay, thanks. Come on. Bets.
Greg, what's up?
Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm doing well. He's meditating. You gotta give him at least an hour.
All right. I can wait. I ain't got nothing to do. Been the time saying now on to independence.
Welcome back to the show. We've got representation from the political parties talking a discourse about governance and really how it should be governed. I want to get back into the conversation. I think you wanted to make, Dr. MacGyver, go ahead.
Right. Before we break, we were talking about the freedom of information.
Right.
The freedom of information has been in Parliament from about 1987. Mm-hmm. They've been talking about it. Mm-hmm. Each successive government keep kicking the can down the road. Yeah. And everyone did one little bit. They did an inch at a time. When Minnis was in power, Minnis allotted, I think his name was Thompson, I think he was an attorney, to be the overall commissioner for that department. And we, the taxpayers, were paying his salary. When the PLP won the government, in their blueprint, they said that they were going to have the freedom of information. They deceived us, because after the second year, I think it was, the budget, they did not allocate the correct budget to that department. Even the org with Matt Albury, he could confirm, and he kept talking and telling the government that you have to implement the freedom of information. They were not allocating enough resources to implement that department to move further. So what has happened now? I understand that Thompson is now home. I spoke with him a few months ago, and he said, I'm home, doing nothing. So are we, the taxpayers, continuing to pay his salary? And what happened to some of the other workers? Apparently they needed funds to now install the computers to get it moving forward. That has not happened. What kind of deception is this? It was in your blueprint. When are we going to get it? He's going to kick it down the road, and I wonder who's going to win the next government? Are they going to kick it down the road? That's why COI needs to win the government so that we can make some of these major changes.
All right. We've been talking about policy issues, and I believe that in any kind of governance there ought to be policy issues. What about your party's policy stands out from all of the others that you believe the Bahamian people ought to be aware of?
Okay.
Each
yes.
of you, yeah.
So, okay. Well, I'll take that. One of the major things that the COI will do when we get in power, we will take power away from the politicians, and we're going to give it to the people. It doesn't mean that a government cannot guide its people. That's what we're there for. You vote us in to guide you. But at the end of the day, you will be making a lot of the decisions. Right now, there are the status quo, people in their ivory tower. They're making decisions for the small man on the street. They are not feeling the pulse of the people. That's why we have decided that some of our candidates we're not going to put everybody in the same vein. We don't just want all doctors, all lawyers, all accountants. We have a broad spectrum of candidates. Some are teachers, some are contractors, some are electricians. One person has a degree in mortuary science, an associate degree. One is a designer. So we feel as if we get a broad spectrum of candidates from the community, they will be able to make effective change because they live the struggle. If you're living in your ivory tower, you don't know what that woman in Baintown who have a child, who has to buy diapers, she has to put food on the table, she has to pay for school fees or whatever. It's very difficult to make ends meet. And so therefore, we feel as if we have candidates who could relate to the average Bahamian, we feel as if we will be able to effect policies much better.
So let's talk about that, because candidates are one thing, who have a view of what they want to see done. And ask any party who's just been elected into government, they will tell you they go to government with this excitement to go and create change and to go and implement everything they said they were going to do and watch the world just transform. And then you get a big wake-up call called the public service, which is now not only made up of your supporters, but made up of those who lost, made up of those who wish you never were there, made up of those who never want to see your face. And they're all a part of the public service. You now have to try and find a way to implement that same passion that you have among people who necessarily ain't on your run. They ain't necessarily see the way you see it. And you will find, talk to any party who's been in government, they will tell you that the biggest frustration is trying to push a policy and a plan through with people who have not caught your vision. And that's where parties begin to fail who are in government. Because the challenge is when people don't see you with all that passion implementing everything you say you're going to do, then they say, oh, you lied, or you failed. But you meet insurmountable hurdles that have been in our system, that have been in our country for decades, that you have to legally, perhaps, uncover to be able to push things through.
So one of the things that me personally as a young leader, an upcoming leader in the country, Clint, I want to say in terms of that is the F&M upcoming policy and manifesto. We have been working on that for 2 years now. Every Monday we were having, we call them focus groups and sessions where we hear from the people. So it's not only F&Ms, we're inviting the public at large to participate in this process. And so when you talk about platform and manifesto, that was a lot that went into that. And we were serious about hearing it from the ordinary man and ensuring that what they feel and what they want to see is represented inside of our platform. And when you talk about the public service, the leader would have released about from last year now what the F&M want to introduce, which we call Project Fair Play. The problem what I realized in the public sector is that there's no system. We don't set up or we don't put nothing in place for the public servants to abide by. We don't have no career paths, we don't have the proper job descriptions, we don't have the...
Come on. You're saying the PLO has not done all of these things?
No, not...
I've had on this show many times, and I can
Larry, that's grossly untrue. So,
that's grossly untrue.
Again, when I said, let me finish. So we don't have a proper, and if we have it, then present it. Make it public. Why can't we see it? Where is it? If it's fully functional.
I think with all due respect, if there's one minister that has been putting out what she's been doing is Pia Glover.
Okay, so if she's working on it.
Matter of fact, I think we can go on record and say the largest reform we've seen so far in the public service has been under Pia Glover role.
So again, so that's what we're talking about fixing. We're talking about fixing the public service now. I never said it ain't happening. So we still having the issue. So what I'm saying is,
I agree with you. You got to fix people.
Right. So we need the system now that y'all say the reform is happening. Continue with the reform because proper.
You don't think the reform is happening?
Training has to happen.
Hold on. You said y'all say the reform happening. happening. And I think this is where we get into this political debate because we're never willing to put aside our party to admit that there's natural change. I mean, would you not agree that there's been change in the public service and people who've been overlooked for decades are getting the promotions that you talked about that they deserve, but somebody's actually going and getting their file because she worked there, she understood the process, and actually getting promotions. Would we discredit that as to being just nothing?
I'm not discrediting that as nothing. I'm not discrediting that as nothing. What I'm saying is we need a system in place that works for all. Okay, so
what is that system? What system will work for all? Because you know, no matter what you do, people can complain about it.
Well,
but
we need to change people. It's people that needs to be.
But let me. So how do you do that?
We could put all the little programs in place. Reform is, and we appreciate Mrs. Roll in terms of what she's doing. But beyond just programs, we need people to change. People need to respect what it is they should be doing. Because when we're talking about efficiency, if we have people who are not going to do it because they're man of business, we have it in church. I'm not coming to church because this one is free.
Right.
We need people
Let's talk about that.
That's what I'm saying.
Because when you talk about what is repercussion to people who will perform in public service, that's when you get the wonderful unions you talked about. Because they're the ones who are going to stand in the way and say, I dare you touch my person. I don't know what grounds you're touching my person on. The reason why the public service, the way it is because people have been protected for years by the same people that we're saying are the voice of the people, the union.
And the politicians.
What system is in place that speaks to the union and the public service?
Let me interject.
In terms of a medium with the actual exit clause or the person who is locked there, where is it?
Let me say something.
I lead a government organization. I can tell you that don't exist.
It don't. That's my point.
Let me interject here. Right? Let me interject here. So, Mr. Denari is saying that there's no career path, no job description.
I never said that.
You said that. So let me start. Let me start. You said there's no career path. You said there's no career path.
Show me the career path.
Okay. So let me first say this. As someone who aspires to leadership in this country, not just leadership, but to represent in the House of Assembly and one day govern. I believe the first thing you should learn is how government work. And if you learn how government work, then you wouldn't make statements like that. When you look at the public service, right, there's an administrative career path, right? You have the administrative cadet, assistant secretary, senior assistant secretary, first assistant secretary goes on, DPS, under secretary, permanent secretary. So there are career paths.
So that's the title of each position.
No, that's a career path.
That's the title of each position in the public service.
Hello.
No career path.
Hold on.
Tell me how does a DPS transition?
Let me say this again. Let me say this again.
How does a DPS transition to UPS?
You ready? Stop cutting me off.
Can you please tell me?
If you want govern, if you want to govern, learn how the public service work.
Can you please
There is a career path. If you come into public service with your bachelor's degree, you start off as an administrative cadet, and then you move up the administrative path that leads to the permanent secretary. I just name it, man. You gotta listen. So let me say this. The public service is governed by something called general audits.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
You know that. So you can't say there's no rules in place that govern public servants. The issue is, and let's go back here. When you have to reprimand a public servant, when you have to suspend a public servant, when you have to fire a public servant, the bureaucracy and the gymnastics you have to go through, the resistance from the union is great.
I can tell you about
and I believe firmly a lot of these unions are a big problem in the efficiency of this public service because they protect members for support and for votes.
Right.
Listen,
I want to get you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
For me, my envision of the public service is that sometimes you have interference in the public service from the government. I call that corruption. So when you talk about a career path, some people want to move up the ladder, but they bring back the retirees or they put in certain public secretaries to do their bidding. And the other people below them, they see the corruption. They get discouraged. That's why we have a lot of brain drain in the Bahamas, because a lot of them don't see pathways in our country. And I believe that with the COI, we're going to have island states where we're going to decentralize government. That's the first thing we need to do. There's central government have too much to do. So the islands, they're going to have their own mayors and their own councils, and they will look after most of their budget. There will be an umbilical cord between the central government and the islands, of course, because they can't have full autonomy, but we need to take away some of this problems that the government have, the central government, and decentralize it, and that's what I say.
Can I ask a question?
Yes,
and
go ahead.
Dr. McGavin. So, how do you deal with the political culture, right? When you send a candidate out there to campaign, and the voter asks, oh, so what you going to do for me, or what change could you possibly affect for me personally when you get in office? So what you going to tell that?
Okay, I can answer that.
So let me let's hear it.
Okay, I can answer.
We live in a culture where people will support the MP, right, who they want to become a minister, who's going to be in charge of a ministry, who could do one or two things for them. If I could call my MP and get this done. Bahamians don't want to hear the bureaucracy of I got to go to a councillor and a mayor, my MP ain't got no power and stuff like that. So how do you sell that plan of the MP don't have no power
I can tell you
if
that.
we win?
See, a member of parliament, their job really should be in parliament to effect policy changes through legislation. That is their main job.
Yes.
Their main job is not to go out there and say, oh, there's a pothole in the road, let me call the Ministry of Works. Those member of parliament, they're supposed to be dealing with legislation.
I agree with that.
Leave that for the mayors and the people who live in their town. If you live in your town, you know what you want better than somebody. If I'm in Long Island, I know what I want better than somebody sitting in Nassau.
Right.
We have to make those changes.
No, I agree with you.
You mean a local government? You mean like a local government?
Parliament's
Yes.
supposed to be more for policy. I totally agree with you.
Yes.
But my fear is in a country, see, when we talk about corruption and we talk about people with policies and warped concepts and things, we're talking about the Bahamian people. That's the Bahamian people. I don't think a party is going to change an entire culture of people. Because that is embedded in who we are as Bahamians. And I don't see a party, if a whole new party come up and go in power, they're still dealing with the same people with the same mindset, with the same desires and wants. And no party is willing to sacrifice their governance to be able to say, we're gonna set it straight for the Bahamas once and for all. We're not gonna go that route. They all start that way, and then you know what? You migrate right back to the wishes of the people because they're the ones who put you there.
That's the work of the 25 years of the BCP. How do we reconstruct the nation? And that is not just about programs. That's not just about policy. That is about how do we get people thinking.
It's a mindset.
What should be doing? How do we change the mindset of the people? Because if a man is prepared to buy your vote, be sure he'll sell you out. So when you come, when he comes to your door and you says, so what are you going to give me? I have 8 votes in this. You have already made a determination of corruption straight across the board. So if he comes and he brings $200 to everybody in that house, you vote and then that's it for your house. So the community continues.
So you believe then that if you ask for something for a vote, then you are contributing to corruption.
Yes, the country
and that's what I'm trying to say with so many of these parties, because every party here, well, I don't know about you, Ali, but every party here is asking for a vote and saying that if you give me your vote, I will give you. The COI is saying if you give me a vote, I will give you 1 acre of land and $100,000. No, hold on. Saying if you give me a vote, I can give you that.
No, I have to answer him.
I'm talking about corruption.
She can defend. Dr. McGavin can defend the COI.
If you put us in power, we're going to give you this
giving
thing.
someone 1 acre of land is not a corrupt deal. It's an empowerment deal.
How?
You are going to... If you give me land, you don't think I'm empowered by having land?
It's a matter of
land is king.
Give me a vote and I'll give you land.
No. I say give me the vote because I want to empower the Bahamians. You understand? Right now we have an enslaved mentality. We are still operating under the vestiges of neo-colonialism. We have to get rid of that. That's how we're going to change the mindset of the people. And Clint, it's not going to happen overnight, but we have to start somewhere. We have to start in the educational system and so forth. And then tell the present government and the other government, listen, don't drop, they say something, don't drop the money bag. Stop dropping the money bag. We want to do away with that. And so when COI wins, We want to get rid of that, and that's how we will get rid of the culture, Clint.
What the BCP is offering the Bahamian people is if you vote for us, we're going to give you a new country. That's the promise. That's a divine promise. The Lord said to me 20 years ago, give me 39 candidates and I'll give you a new Bahamas. What we need...
Do you have 39 candidates?
Not yet. But that's why we have 39. But what we need, see, there's no point of introducing 3 here and 5 and 4 here. That doesn't make sense.
You don't give but don't.
No. When we introduce our besides, if election is a year out, it means then that we have the time, but we know it's not a year out. However, the process of changing the nation is you have to change the people. Now, number one, I believe that local government is imperative for development going forward. So local government must be in New Providence in order to make the people vested in regards to their development. If we are just promising what I'm going to give you because you vote for me, that's not going to happen. Do you want a new Bahamas, or do you just want a fridge? Or do you just want an acre of land? Because an acre of land is not very much. And $100,000 will go quickly.
Wow.
We are talking about a new Bahamas. When the founders intended, and what they intended when they created this country, it was for us to produce a nation where we all as a people can be happy, we can live here. They were coming out of colonialism and they said, we want to be treated with respect, with dignity. We want our children to grow up with an education. We want them to be able to have respect for their job, that every job is an important job, whether you're picking up the garbage or you're weeding or you're farming. All of a sudden now, none of that is important. Only the big jobs. We must find a way to recreate and reprogram in the minds of the Bahamian people that if you want a new country, you have to do something you've never done to get something you've never gotten. And I love that this young man talked about servant leadership, because the teaching of servant leadership and transformational leadership is if you want something, you must create the model, begin to work at it. And servant leadership is all about gradualist, and that's what I am. That's why I've stayed the course, because as we continue to bring the values to the Bahamian people, this is what's going to give you a new country, not a fridge.
I'll give you the last word.
Okay.
So thank you.
One of the other things I'd like to see change in this country, we're talking about a culture and the mind and the culture, is governments have been known to sabotage, victimize, and intimidate people. If they are not on their side, that needs to stop. It needs to stop. And that is the culture that they are inculcating into our people, and it needs to stop. I can't even say anything more than it needs to stop.
My only thing I want to say, Clint, and my only thing I want to say, it still goes right back to me, for everything is systems, right? Some of these things we're talking about here, these are simple stroke of the pen. And with MCP, Michael Clifton Pintard, watch the difference, watch the stroke of the pen. Watch the policies, watch the legislation. The talk, when they say talk is cheap money, buy land. So this new F&M government that you see on the way, we talking servant leadership because we know we're going to do. We talking...
I see y'all make sure y'all keep on stressing this new F&M. We all do know the minutes but y'all really trying to test them now. This new F&M government.
Forward,
they can't do this F&M government. They say this new F&M.
Unstoppable change is on the way. It's all about systems.
Go for gold.
I just want to go right back to the public service question right quick, because Carl didn't answer me. I just want him to tell me, at the end of the day, how do you list the names of a place and call it a career path? Because if you have a career path, there's no need to rehire and bring back 500 retirees or put the PS there and bring back PS. There's no succession plan. No. How does a young Bahamian right now transition through the system? It does not happen.
I agree with you.
Don't tell me.
But I agree with you. I agree with you with one thing. The public service has lacked succession planning and has lacked a lot of training. And this is why the most progressive this public service has ever been in its history has been under P.A. Glover Road. Record promotion, record confirmations, young people moving up. More than 2,000 young people were added to the public service ages 18 to 25 because of her. Because of her. So you could pontificate with Michael Pintard and this politics all you want.
At minimum wage, $260 a week.
But the point is, I agree that we need to get the livable wage.
So we're going to stick a pin. bigger than a pin. We're going to sing a pin in this. I think this is our first night doing this. I think we're going to have to do this every Tuesday to make sure we get all the issues in between now and the election. So if y'all got the time, I got the opportunity, we'll create this Political Tuesday and have this panel and have them back because we have a lot to talk about. We ain't get through half the stuff. But if y'all coming back, I'll make sure create the time. You coming back? Yes. Okay. They can let you come back?
Who's that?
Thank you all so much. I appreciate it. And let's commit to doing this again on Tuesdays. Thank you so much. That's it for the rundown. Be sure to stay locked to the ZNS network for the Bahamas tonight at 11. It's the final newscast in the country with the latest news and information with Royston Jones. Is he in the building? He's normally in here. He's upstairs getting ready for 11 o'clock news. For all of us here, I'm Clint Watson. Thanks for joining us. Good night.
At Fort Montague, I'm Opal Roach. This is ZNS.